Hello, guys and girls and neither nons. That came out really wrong. Guys, pals, and non-binary pals. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello!
Oh yeah.
We're here. We're live. We've got myself. We've got John, the regular. We've got Ciaran, the regular. And we've got a special guest, Mr. Cynical Celluloid himself, Lampy.
It's me.
It's you.
Still alive,
We've won
folks.
another next week.
Still alive.
He is, yes. Very much so.
Still
And
alive
this
and
is a beautiful
25.
So tonight we are.
I was gonna do Fisher Stevens there. Johnny Five is alive.
No, don't go there. Don't go there. It's okay.
That's it. We're cancelled.
Before we even got out the gate, I'm sorry.
Okay. Tonight we are going to be talking about Quentin Tarantino and Oliver Stone with Ciaran, and then we're going to be mentioning the Nasties and how that's impacted cinema, and also how the present day was it the broadcast act or something? What's it called? Somebody said earlier.
The OSA, Online Safety Act.
Online Safety Act. Sorry. Yep. How that,
It's fun.
Yes, that sounds.
Not for anybody anymore.
So, for those in watching abroad, this is as a UK only legislation so far, but you never know what Trump he might copy and bring it to America. So for now, it's UK only. So over to you, Ciaran.
Yeah. Hi guys, Ciaran here, Kyoster. I've got a page called the Movie Zone on Facebook if you ever want to check that out. So I'm just a wee cheap plug there to start off. I've always had a great fascination for Oliver Stone and Quentin Tarantino's work. You know, my radio shows, I've covered them in different Movie Zone episodes and stuff over the years, different radio stations I was on, and I really love their stuff. You know, did any of the rest of you big into them guys?
Yeah, I like Tarantino more than Stone, but I do like Oliver Stone. I like what he did, The Doors and Platoon,
Right.
more so than other movies of his. But I'm not more familiar with Tarantino, to be fair.
Yeah. I think the Oliver Stone work that I've been most fascinated with over the years was Natural Born Killers. Awesome. I just think it's just a different realm of excitement and fun, and it's just like, and it touches on the video nasty stuff too. I would say in a way that's got a lot of that in it, maybe.
It kind of one of the things that it was known about what made it much more infamous, obviously at the time, was the censorship that happened, because it got delayed like months and months.
Yeah.
When it first came out, because they were about to release it. The BBFC were about to certificate it, and then I can't remember what the event was, but basically they got cold feet and just delayed it again and again. But yeah, it's essentially it was the 90s, and it was like the second coming of the video nasties. So.
Well, it was a long time, wasn't it, before the director's cut was available? The one with the beheading in and the SA stuff, all that. You know, it was. It is a very violent film. It is. I mean, not Natural Born Killers, but it's comic. But it's comic book violence, which is what I always think about Tarantino. Like Tarantino's violence, for all the criticism that he's had, it's like Romero for me, Dawn of the Dead. His violence is comic book violence. He's like partying with it, you know. Even right up until I think Hateful Eight and stuff. I think Tarantino is still almost like having a laugh with it a bit.
Yeah, I think the in Reservoir Dogs, the ear cutting scene.
Yes.
Michael Madsen doing the ear cutting scene, and he's dancing. Yeah, it kind of lightens the mood a bit, and then
fantastic,
you don't actually see it.
Fantastic performance by both of the actors. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think one of the greatest parts of the Natural Born Killers movie was the soundtrack by Leonard Cohen. It was called The Future.
Baby, I've been waiting for so
great film. A great song, and great contributes to the film really well.
Well, I love there's a song in there called Shit List, which I love.
L7,
right?
And Trent Reznor's on there a lot as well, which I really liked. I really like the Trent Reznor stuff on. It was Trent Reznor, right? On
yes.
And it was some of his live stuff. Was it Nothing Turned Itself Inside Out and things? And there was a few great Trent Reznor tracks on there. I remember from some of his live things, if I remember rightly. It's been a while since I've watched it, but
there was about 2 or 3 tracks, I think, of that he wrote, and some of it was part of the cinematic music, wasn't it? It wasn't just it wasn't like Shitlist, which was kind of much more of a music video moment within the film. That was some which was incidental music.
I think it was "You Make This All Go Away."
Yeah,
one of the songs that was in it. That's the one I remembered. I think.
Something I Can Never Have.
Yes, Something I Can Never Have. I think that was in it, if I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But it was great. That's a really great track, that one.
Yeah. I mean, Trent Reznor really did get into doing a lot of soundtracks. He did like Quake and for the computer game, and he's been doing like kind of quite a few along the way. He did one fairly recently, I think. I can't remember what the film was.
He did an episode of Twin Peaks: The Return where he was one of the turns, and I remember when he was like leather suit and stuff on, like Elvis. He looked great.
Yeah, because Trent and David, they were both friends. So, because I think he got David Lynch to actually direct one of his music videos at one point.
Yeah, it was the Lost Highway time. He was he did some of the music on Lost Highway.
Yeah.
And he worked with David Bowie as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, he did, didn't he? I totally forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
I mean, funny enough, the soundtrack was the first thing I heard about. I heard when it came to of it, and I listened to that quite a bit. It's a very, very good soundtrack.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, and I thought the lineup of stars in that movie too. Like you've got Robert Downey Jr. playing a totally off the wall character, like than he would usually do. You've got obviously
Harvey Two-Face. Harvey Two-Face.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, you got Jack Scagnetti, the prison guard guy.
All right, Tommy Lee Jones.
He's great, wasn't he? And that, like, and then the way I was watching an interview with Tarantino and Charlie Rose there yesterday, and he touches on the fact that he does all the stuff in a satire level, the violence, as you were saying there, kind of animation style, and then the great thing about it too is the fact that what was I going to say there? I went blank there. But there's so much to it. It's just all kind of overflowing in my mind trying to get out stuff about the film, and it's awesome. Like,
take your time. It's okay. It'll come to you. So
yeah.
I was just going to say, sorry. Robert Downey Jr. at the time, he was going through really bad patches with his drug abuse and.
Well, I mean, for me, he's the weakest link in Natural Born Killers. I mean, he's the Wayne. Is it Wayne Grow? What's his name?
Wayne Gale. Yeah.
Wayne Gale. Yeah, Wayne Grows from Heat, isn't it? But Wayne Gale. He's the weakest thing in the film for me, Downey Jr. Because I think I don't know. Sometimes he can whack it out the park like Scanner Darkly.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think
I think it was an early role for him too, though, wasn't it? Kind of relatively early role.
What was it? Is it 93? Well, he was in Weird Science. I remember, wasn't he?
He was in Weird Science.
Yeah.
And he did.
Hey, girls, check us out.
He did Air America, I think, didn't he?
Right, with Mel Gibson in 1990. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he did Chaplin.
Oh yeah, that was Ed Wood in '92 as well. Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't him, was it?
No, that was Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it's Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
But
he was a Hollywood bad boy, that's for sure.
Yeah. He straightened out though, didn't he?
I
mean, that's the thing. Actually,
he was great in Oppenheimer there last year, yeah, or a couple of years ago.
I made himself a suit out of iron, and he never looked back.
Yeah, I think the superhero films that he did, the Marvel films seem to have really kind of grounded him as a person more than anything.
I agree. I agree.
Definitely, yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to him in the movie, I sort of see where you're coming from in terms of you can feel like the weak link. It's almost like he keyed into the movie's tone and then turned it up another couple of notches. I mean, it's a film that's already at 11.
Oh, yeah.
He's at like 12, 13.
What was your thoughts on Tom Sizemore in it? He was pretty good in it too, and his part.
He was a very interesting bad guy.
I mean,
in this sea of characters, and so many of them are really, really kind of blown up
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
overkill.
you look at like the cinematic technique within that movie. There's a lot of kind of close-ups and
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, totally.
very disjointed sort of
But
camera
that's what
work sort of going on.
one of the
But-
things. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he jumps from 35 to 16 mil to video. He did it all the way through, right? He was jumping everywhere all over Stone. Like
That's one of the things Stone was saying in that interview. He was saying that for every character, he had a different type of camera, way of working, like,
Mhm.
Well, it blew my mind when I saw it in the 90s. It really did. I mean, I loved it. I was a Stone fan already, but I really do like it. And I'm glad, same with True Romance, I'm glad Tarantino didn't do it.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be the film that it is if Tarantino had done it. And I do.
Was his script much different? Was there a lot of differences?
It's just a tone and the way that his was a lot more like True Romance. He did Badlands twice, really. He did True Romance, which is Badlands. It's so much so that Tony Scott uses the music from Badlands in the film, the Terrence Malick film, and then he kind of did the same script again. I felt with Natural Born Killers, or at least told the same story in the two scripts. They're both about like two kind of runaway lover couples, who are on the wrong side of the tracks.
Like a modern day Bonnie and Clyde, you could say.
Oh,
maybe,
totally,
totally.
I mean, Badlands was about Charles Starkweather, the serial killer, but Tony Scott totally came into that with True Romance, and it's the same with True Romance. I'm glad Tarantino didn't do it because I really like True Romance, and I don't think it would be the film that it is if it was, because Tony Scott's just, I mean, he's a powerhouse, man. I mean, we mentioned Days of Thunder earlier on and stuff. His directing style is totally different to Tarantino's, but it really suits True Romance. And I think Oliver Stone's madness, which I think he has, a beautiful madness, really fits that Natural Born Killers. I think I really do. I'm a big Stone fan.
Emphasizes. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead there, Kerry. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, when you're saying like it matches his madness, because Stone, not Stone, but Tony Scott, like Ridley, his brother, would have been a very visual director.
Well, they both did advertisements first, right? They were both and I think Ridley Scott was like Z cars and stuff, wasn't he? Ridley Scott before he was.
I think they both were. You said before. Sorry, but I think True Romance would have been very, very, very different if Tarantino directed as well as wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he would have been, it would have been more cartoonish, as you say, what Natural Born Killers is, or Reservoir Dogs. But I think as well that it would have been kind of insular, whereas True Romance is external.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have been as beautiful in the screenplay. Clarence dies, the Christian Slater character.
Oh, right, does he? Okay.
When he gets shot in the eye at the end, he dies in Tarantino's script. And Tarantino actually said, whereas he hated what Stone did with Natural Born Killers, he said that Tony Scott was right to let Clarence live in the end. And he said he was happy. As far as I remember, he said it was happy that was changed.
Then you have, of course, Val Kilmer and his
fairy tale. Love you, Clarence. Always have, always will. Val Kilmer is my man. Yeah. I love Val Kilmer so much.
So does his imaginary Elvis friend. Yeah.
Oh, he is. He's brilliant in that. I mean, you never totally see him in the whole movie, but I love those. I love those scenes.
Yeah,
I do. I love those scenes. But
I mean, Brad Pitt playing the beach bum guy. There's so many characters in that movie.
Oh, it's Michael Rappaport as well as the Brad Pitt's roommate, who's like the kind of he's totally zany in that film. Michael Rappaport.
I think that's a Tarantino trope, though. Too many characters.
Well, Sizemore and Sean Penn, I mean, they're kind of characters that always pop up in Jackie Brown and things. Those kind of coppers with those relationships. They appear in quite a lot, like Michael Keaton and I can't remember the other actor's name in Jackie Brown, but the two cops are very similar to Sean Penn and Tom Sizemore in True Romance.
Actually, a little tidbit there. Keaton's character in Jackie Brown actually pops up in Out of Sight with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. Yeah.
They're both, is it Eddie Bunker stories or is it Elmore Leonard? It's Elmore Leonard.
Elmore Leonard, yeah.
Elmore Leonard. I've got to do this though. Jackie Brown.
See, my thought on Jackie Brown is it's one of the weird movies in Tarantino's filmography, in that it's the one which you could probably say is the most original Tarantino movie, but it's the one he hates. Because that's the thing, isn't it? I think Tarantino's movies, the big charge is always that he's copying. And my response to that has always been, but you can always tell it's a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Jackie Brown is probably the most kind of the least derivative of all of his films, and it's the one that he hates.
I think he really respected Elmore Leonard, didn't he? And he really wanted to be good to the material. And that was the movie when everyone was saying this guy can't make a narrative film. Because Reservoir Dogs have been all over the place. Narratively, backwards, forwards. Pulp Fiction was backwards, forwards.
Yeah.
People were kind of saying this guy can't make a narrative feature, and he came back with Jackie Brown as kind of a yes, I can. You know, and I love it. I do. I think
well with his writing in From Dusk Till Dawn. That's the same. It is kind of flows, but it's also back and forth.
That's a movie. I'm a big Rodriguez fan. I like Rodriguez better than Tarantino. And because Road Races is one of my favorite all-time movies. If I had to pick a top 10, Road Races by Rodriguez would be in there from 94, 95. I love that movie. And Just Till Dawn, I don't think is aged very well.
No, I think visually is the big key to why it's not aged very well.
There's the CGI.
The effects don't stand up as well as you. Still a hell of a lot of fun.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And you've got like Harvey Keitel in there, and it is a fun movie. It is.
Tarantino and a lot of acting in that one. He doesn't often do too much acting in movies. Yeah.
No,
he's a very central character in it, which is
one of the brothers.
Yeah. I mean,
and actually, very much a psycho in it as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's his best, isn't it? Defeat.
Well, not many guys can say they sucked Salma Hayek's toes,
No.
but now he can.
Yeah, I wonder who wrote that scene.
Alan Smithy.
I don't think Rodriguez kind of like went, I'll give him a treat.
Oh, hey, Perry.
That would have been straight in there from the original. I think when Salma Hayek turned up, he probably went, "Oh my luck's in."
I'm just going to change the script here so somebody falls down the leg and I'll lick it off her foot. I'd
say she preferred that moment than being asked out by Donald Trump. She said she was asked out by Donald Trump.
Well,
my favorite thing about that whole movie is I'm a huge John Hawkes fan, who was the guy in the store at the beginning. When they go to the store and they set the store on fire, and you've got that great slow motion Rodriguez, total John Carpenter influence shot with the low angle coming back. And Rodriguez has said he's a huge Carpenter fan with that big wide and the pull back and the explosion. I love John Hawkes, that actor in that first scene. He's in Road Races, which is my favorite Rodriguez film, is the Nixer. But John Hawkes, in my opinion, one of the best actors we've had ever. I think he's great. And I remember seeing Just Till Dawn for the first time, and he's like, I didn't do it. And he's throwing the thing. What a way to start a movie. You know, it's a great movie, and you've got to give that to Tarantino because it is literally let's start. Bang. You know?
Yeah. Get your attention straight away.
And John Hawkes was perfect. And you got the cop. Was it Michael Parks was in the bathroom, right? Was he the cop in the bathroom?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a cop comes along. I think it was Michael Parks. I can't remember. It's been years. It's been
because he's like kind of gotta use the can.
Aye.
Have any of you ever checked out the other two From Dusk Till Dawn movies at all?
Yeah, Texas Blood Money and what was the other one?
Hangman or something.
Hangman, the one, Hangman's daughter.
Yeah.
The one that
I don't remember a damn
Robert
thing about
Patrick's in
either
one
of
of
them.
them.
I love the sequel. The second one in the bank, where they do the bank robbery and they're stuck in the bank. I really like Texas Blood Money.
Well, it was the three of them. Ciaran will know more about this than yourself, or
I don't know about that now, but we'll see.
But there was a charity shop in Derry beside Nationwide. They had the three of them.
CX?
No, that's not a charity.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, the three. I think it was. Jeez, can't think. No, what it was.
Yeah.
I think it's Cancer Research.
Ah, okay. Right.
Yeah, but they had the three of them in the box set for 10p. Wow. And I only wanted to get one of them. I want to get the first one.
That's good value.
What did you offer them? 3p?
No, we're not that tight.
Just cut the bit of the DVD out that I want. Yes.
Yeah.
Just take this one disc.
Yeah. Actually, the 2 disc edition, so yeah. Just the movie, please.
But I mean, the
No.
thing is, it's so weird that they had sequels to those films.
It is.
I know.
You know, it's like because the first film, there's no way it needs a sequel.
No,
It
just
leaves
yeah.
it exactly where it needs to be left. It's like because the big thing about that film, the thing that made it so magnificent on that first viewing is you had no idea where the hell it was going.
Yep.
And then it suddenly slaps you with that massive turnaround about halfway through the film, and because it just runs as a regular heist movie essentially. And then shit goes down.
Turns into a horror then.
Yeah, I mean, so what have the sequels really got to offer in that front? It's a bit like, you know.
I really didn't like the TV series. I thought it didn't work at all for me. The Still Dawn TV series. I did watch it all because I was a fan, but it didn't work at all for me.
Didn't know there actually was a TV series.
Yeah,
the same. Yeah,
I think it was 2 seasons it ran for. I think maybe it's more, but I wasn't very impressed. But I mean, there's cool. The thing is with Tarantino and Rodriguez, right? They're really cool, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that John Saxon pops up as the cop in Dusk Till Dawn or doing the television report, that's like that's for us four. We know who John Saxon is. Do you know what I mean? And I really like that about the movies. I do. I like the fact that he puts Michael Parks in little scenes and ended up giving him much bigger roles in Kill Bill and stuff later on. And I like that about them. He brought Tarantino back, didn't he? And I mean, Samuel L. It's similar to John Hawkes. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. And we've got Tarantino to kind of thank for giving him that push that he needed, you know?
Yeah.
And I do love that about them. I do.
What do you think of the El Mariachi trilogy?
Yeah, I mean, they're cool. I'd like to say I'm a big Rodriguez fan. Once Upon a Time in Mexico is way over the top, which it was meant to be. You know, I mean, he was doing Spy Kids and stuff at the time.
Yeah.
But the first one, El Mariachi's cool. Desperado is super cool. I'm a really big fan of Desperado. I think that's similar to what you were saying, Glenn, about Dusk Till Dawn. It's a really good time. I have a really good time watching Desperado. I kind of party with it. I'll have a few beers, even if I'm by myself. The soundtrack kicks ass. Got Link Ray in there. You got Tarantino coming in, giving them great.
You have a tequila while you're watching that one.
Oh, it's my favorite. I've actually been doing tequila and honey lately. It's a really sweet shot. It is.
Boneyard Cinema does not control.
Minus the worm.
Well, obviously now I'm getting a bit older. I'm getting heartburn a lot. So if you put a little drop of honey in the tequila, it just makes it that bit sweeter and smoother.
I think Jackie Brown's very underrated as a movie.
Oh, I think it's perfect. I mean, that's his love letter to blaxploitation.
Yeah.
And
I
mean, he's got Robert Forster in there because of Vigilante, the Lustig movie. He's got Pam Grier in there because he loves
Foxy Brown
and the blaxploitation flicks that she did. You know, like Coffee and all that. It's a love letter to cinema. And it's the best one he did because. I mean, sorry for going on. I just
great soundtrack as well.
Going on a bit of a rant there, but that's what I don't like about his later movies, like especially Inglorious, is that he just lifts scenes. It's like they're not even homages anymore. They're just scenes from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The opening of Inglorious is the opening scene of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It literally is the opening scene, you know. But in Jackie Brown, he was young. He had all these ideas from the movies he loved. And he made a homage to that whole blaxploitation cinema, and he nailed it, man. He nailed it. I think. I really think he did. All right. And his first three to me were, I mean, shit. I had the Reservoir Dogs poster on my wall when I was a kid. You know, like all other film fans did. It was mind blowing. Harvey Keitel just picking him up like that, and you know, he'd done the whole thing at the Sundance, hadn't he? He worked with Terry Gilliam on kind of bringing the ideas together for Reservoir Dogs and. But those first three films, to me, are like a 1, 2, 3 punch. At the time, were unbelievable, and I've got to thank him for that. You know, for boosting my love of cinema. But looking back on them, they're not as great as they were then because I've seen all the movies he's seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that's kind of how I've come out on Tarantino.
Makes sense. Yeah.
In the end, you know, that's kind of where I come out on him. I think.
So there's a rumor going around that he's did a script for his last movie, his 10th movie.
He's moving to the UK to direct plays now, apparently.
But he's scrapped it.
Has he scrapped it? All right.
Yeah, apparently he scrapped his script. So
He was supposed to do a Star Trek movie, but I don't know if
Yeah.
that will ever happen.
I would have. I mean, he's done interesting stuff. I've been
Mm.
editing videos for channel Dave James over on Squabblebox HQ, great channel. Check him out if you get the chance. And we did a one about an episode about Tarantino directing CSI. So he directed a pretty cool episode of CSI, and John Saxon pops up in there. You know, he's like, and it's a really good episode. He's done great things.
Mm.
But I mean, I'm a big Mark Kermode fan. Like huge. Me and you used to talk about Kermode and Kim and that, Glenn, didn't we, when we were working together? And I kind of come out where he comes out. He says, I'm disappointed in Tarantino because I saw the potential he had in Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown. You know, and not disappointed. He just knows that he can do more than what he's done.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still party with his films. I do. I party with his films. But pardon me. But like I say, I've got to thank him for Reservoir Dogs because it was when I was a kid, seeing that was like mind-blowingly cool. You know, he was one of the directors of the 90s. You know, he really was. I think he lost it later on, but that's my opinion. That I can see him in there. You know, that Tarantino I fell in love with in the early 90s and the first 3 films, I can see him in there. But it's almost like he believed his own hype. And that's where I come out with him. I don't like Kill Bill 1. I love Kill Bill 2. But, you know.
I have to say, I'm a big fan of The Hateful Eight. I love The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really fun.
Of his later stuff, I actually really did enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
All right.
There's something quite charming about that movie because it's actually an incredibly sentimental movie apart from anything else.
Very,
which is not that common a thing for him, not in my opinion anyway. And it's kind of funny because a friend of mine was like complaining about, you know, it changes the history and all that kind of stuff. I go, yeah, that's the point. I mean, did you not read the title? It's supposed to be like the Quentin Tarantino's fairy tale resolution to a very horrible part in Hollywood history. But you know, it's a very, very warm film, oddly enough. And it never takes itself massively seriously. I found it just to be such a very comforting movie in some ways. No,
I like his work in general, but I would say his weakest would be Inglourious Bastards. That was his weakest, I think.
Possibly, but I mean, it is a hell of a lot of fun, though. You know what I mean? It's one of those. I think you can't take. I mean, I don't think you're supposed to take it in seriously.
Yeah, you know, you're not supposed to take it serious at all. I don't.
It literally is. It's like one of those 1940s American GI comic books kind of thing going on, just ultra violent version of that.
But I can testify that is actually a genuine thing. A German said, "Go 3."
The Fassbender scene.
Yeah.
What about his Grindhouse movies?
Death Proof
and Planet Terror. What were they like? What do you think of them?
I'm a Rodriguez guy. I think Planet Terror is like a masterpiece. Whereas Death Proof, I almost fell asleep in the cinema.
Death Proof could be argued to be one of his worst works as well. Like
it's my least favorite of his films. I mean, I had a teacher. Sorry, I didn't have a teacher. This is when I was teaching. Actually, there was the teacher came to give a lecture on Laura Mulvey's The Male Gaze, and they used Death Proof as an example because it is the male gaze. The whole movie is. And the teacher, and I mean, that's interesting about it. But I don't know, but I did see it when it was Grindhouse. So I was at the cinema when it was the two shown together. So maybe that had something to do with this, you know, getting a little bit drowsy and nodding off. But Planet Terror, I love the whole. I'm a Jeff Fahey's one of my guys. I don't know if I can show you now with the camera. But over there on the wall behind that light, there's an Iron Maze poster. He's one of my favorite actors. And him together with Michael Biehn. I love that movie. I do. Oh, yeah. When they get the secret recipe and the blood gets on at the end, it's like, you bugger, it was blood all along. I find that similar to what you were saying, Glenn, about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I find Planet Terror very comforting. It's like it's a comfort movie for me because it's like he's Rodriguez is saying, I love all these crazy movies you like as well, you know? but he kind of...
I think it's fun. Yeah, it's really fun film.
Oh, I love Planet Terror. I think it's great.
I haven't seen it, to be honest with you, so I'm
But
terrible.
I think Kurt Russell in Death Proof, I had a lot of good expectation for that, and then I was disappointed then, you know.
Do you think if it was Mickey Rourke, it would have worked? Because he was originally wanted Mickey Rourke to be Stuntman Mike?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
And you can probably tell I'm a big Mickey Rourke fan there. There's his face in the background. He was originally going to play Stuntman Mike, or apparently that's who he wanted. And he didn't do it, and Kurt Russell did. But I don't get along with Death Proof. I've watched it many times, you know. It's not the worst film ever made, but it's not the best by any means in my book.
No, Hateful Eight I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a return to form for sure.
It's a great film to watch in the wintertime, you know. I often, you know, it's because of obviously the exterior of the movie, like, you know.
I mean, it has its redeeming. I mean, I love the bit at the end when he's like, I love that bit about, you know, I better go because she's cooking the pots in the background and stuff in the letter when he's actually telling him. That's nice. And he is a good scriptwriter. I mean, you know, he wrote Crimson Tide, right? Or at least he came in to do rewrites on Crimson Tide. That was one of his first big Hollywood jobs. People respect him as a writer, and he is a good writer. But I just don't always love the way he directs.
So moving on to Oliver Stone, I personally, as I said earlier, I like The Doors.
Doors are my favorite band.
Yeah, same, pretty much, apart from REM. But
so I think I've got a lot to say about that, as you can imagine.
I've lost my religion a long time ago. But no, I think, you know, it was very well cast, especially Val Kilmer again as Jim Morrison, and, you know, it was just
perfect.
It was fictionalized a bit too, I think.
Well, it's not the Doors. It's the legend. It's the legend. I mean, I'm a massive Doors fan. They are my favorite band. Jim Morrison's the reason why I've got long hair. He really is. It's like that's how important the Doors are to me. They're one of my favorite bands. They are my favorite band. But it was print a legend, the Doors movie. It always was. It was never meant to be taken. It was similar to what we were saying about Tarantino. You know, it's not meant to be taken seriously. It was meant to be. It was meant to be. Here's what people imagine the '60s to be like. You know, the '60s wasn't like that. I've read all the books. You read Robbie Krieger's book. Yeah, he says you look at a photograph of all these people in the '60s. We've all got crabs. We're not happy, you know, because we're smoking dope and sleeping with everybody. He says everybody in that image has got crabs, or somebody's got some STD. You know, he said the '60s was a great time, but it's not like what you think it is. You know, it's not what the movie show it as. And
I had a copy of No One Gets Out of Here Alive.
Oh, the Danny Sugarman. Was it Danny Sugarman?
I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah.
But it was.
That's kind of funny though, because that lad, I think it was Robbie Krieger, described him as some kid who was hanging around the studio. So there was a bit of criticism on that autobiography.
Oh, none of the Doors like it. They don't. I know it. I've read all the books. I've read Ray's book. I read John Densmore's book, and I read Krieger's book. But the movie's based on Densmore's. It's based on Riders on the Storm. He's actually in it as the studio engineer at the beginning, Densmore. Come on, Jim, it's your birthday, man. That's John Densmore at the beginning of the movie. But Stone just nails it. He's showing you the legend. Same with JFK. He's showing you the legend. He is. He's not showing you the facts. He's showing you the legend, you know? I love that about Stone's work. I do. He's a very, very cinematic filmmaker, and he's an old school filmmaker. And the fact that the films that he's still making, they look great. They're not like some young kid making a film. He knows what he's doing, you know?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Would you say that's a little contradicted by Natural Born Killers, though? Because, I mean, Natural Born Killers is really that MTV aesthetic, the 24-hour news cycle kind of parody.
But to do it, you've got to know what you're doing. To have a camera to have a different camera for every actor. You've got to know what you're doing to do that. You know, somebody.
I mean,
somebody else couldn't have done that. I think
wouldn't be knocking the mastery of it, because I mean the editing on that film is just off the planet.
It is. It's brilliant. I know.
But it's a very, very different style of cinema.
I don't know. Like, I mean, to me, there's still a lot of classic stuff in it. I mean, like the trains and stuff at the beginning. It's. I mean, there's a lot of Western in there.
Mhm.
You know, he really does paint the great American landscape in Natural Born Killers, I think, like Ford or like the old guys did. You know, I really do. I think it is all over the place. You're right, Glenn. I totally agree. It is. It's a very MTV thing. It's fast. It's flashing. Lots of flipping, flashing images. The music's driving it. It almost is a music video in parts. But I still think it's got a really controlled, great style. It's not all over the place. You know, it's not like Blair Witch. It's like controlled.
What I really do appreciate about the film, though, is it's so actually ahead of its time with its read on the whole kind of 24-hour news cycle.
Oh yeah, man.
The kind of pre-internet famous,
totally,
which is what these characters are. I mean, he was watching the news reports of police chases and all that kind of stuff, and he distilled that and shoved it into the movie. And now that's your POV, is that kind of news cycle style.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's what Netflix did with Dahmer or something. You know, it's it's idolizing serial killers. You know, and that's what things are like. Netflix, man. Netflix only exists because of the true crime docudramas they made in the beginning when they did that. What was it, American Murder? What was the first one they did?
How to make a murder?
Right. I mean, it was that made Netflix, and it was. You're totally right, Glenn. He was way ahead of the curve, like, and he knew that. Pardon me. It's almost like the Andy Warhol 15 Minutes of Fame thing.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, man, people, TikTok videos get millions of views. There's a streamer just died on a stream. You know, and that's the thing. You know, people want that, and I think he was sensationalizing or seeing the sensationalist view of things. I think in Natural Killers. And I mean, it's you get podcasts, My Favorite Murder, and things like that. Is that kind of what you were getting at, Glenn? If I'm
that and the whole kind of like the sort of shortening of people's attentions and the glorification of these, the extremes in society, while also sort of looking at again, oh, that's bad. Let's see that again in like half speed sort of mentality that there is in all forms of media these days, and I think you sort of captured that. I mean, a lot of this was, he did that way ahead of the curve in some respects. Before, we were all doing YouTube videos and streams and IRL videos and that kind of stuff. I mean, so there's a million Wayne Gales running around now. Kind of nuts. When I know we criticised that character a little bit earlier, but you kind of watch that film these days, and you can almost see a very relevant reflection of where we're at now, in many respects. Just this, I mean, there's characters like these IRL, particularly the ones that run around and sort of interfere with the public, and
totally like. I mean, obviously, I'm a big George Romero fan, and I don't want to get into a discussion about Diary of the Dead, because I love Diary of the Dead, and we all know I love it, and nobody agrees with us.
Yeah.
But he was saying the same thing George Romero was saying, like, this is about ambulance chasers, He was kind of saying that, and I think that's what you mean, right, Glenn? It was like he was an ambulance chaser, Wayne Gale.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I mean, he created his own chaos as well.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. It's like it's all about the content.
This whole thing's going to make me think he's the best character in the movie now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with like IRL streamers and stuff like that these days, right? And some of the extremes that they go to. There's one Russian guy just recently got shoved into, I think it was like a Philippine prison. He went in all cocksure and all this kind of stuff. And about within 2 weeks, he was crying and begging to get let out again. There's another one who's looking potentially at 41 years. It's absolutely insane what these people are like, and they're just so rock solid focused on this chaos and creating this, capturing this stuff for clicks and for clout, and they're very upfront and open about that. That's what they do it for, and they will do it at the expense of their own lives. And you see those characters within Natural Born Killers.
Yeah,
I know that Stone said in interviews before that he tries to keep on the pulse of what's happening in the real world, so that he can capture what's going on and put it into his films.
I mean,
he does a good job at it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he was specifically looking at, like, say, the 24-hour news cycle. That's the thing he was looking at, the sensationalization within the news culture, media culture, the celebrity culture. You know, you've got these killers going around, it's glorify them, all that kind of stuff. So it was a much, shall we say, smaller scale. Funny enough, it was just more. That was what was prominent back in those days. But now every fucker with a phone is capable of doing this stuff, and all too many people are willing to. You know.
Well,
I think in the
tornado chases and flipping ice road truckers, and I mean, we're watching shows about people who might die.
people love chaos, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. It's
I think in the there's a cool slogan for Natural Born Killers. It's in the media circus of life, they were the main attraction. But that was pretty good, yeah.
Lexi can't see you, Ciaran. So
Hi, Alexia. Alexia, how are you getting on? You can't see me. Why you not? Because I'm too dark here.
but it's a theme. I mean, that's a theme that runs through all of his work. I really wanted to talk about talk radio because I think that's one of his
such a good film.
I think it's his best film. I do. I love talk radio, and that's totally about what you were saying, Glenn. I mean, that's about a shock jock on the radio. And he puts his own life in danger and he gets killed, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, he's much more self-aware than a lot of because it's almost like a thing of nature with Natural Born Killers, that what these people are like. They're these media jackals, you know, and everybody else is like feeding on the scraps that these folks are throwing out. With Eric Borgeshan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Talk radio. You see him,
Michael Wincott as well.
Yeah, you sort of see him. It's a real character curve.
He's a great actor. I mean, he's like a New York stage actor, Eric Bogosian. So he's like he could act the crap out of that movie, and he does. He's really good in it. Like
it's that shot, the climatic scene where he goes into that rant.
Oh yeah.
And the camera's sort of going around him. You see the entire studio,
beautiful,
around him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I mean, you look at that now, and you see like the podcasts that people do, be it like some really revolting ones, some pretty decent ones, and you get that feel of the studio actually being part of the show, because usually you're sort of divorced from that. You don't see the people that are around it now. Of course, you know, you do all your podcasts and stuff, and everybody's involved. The person who's doing all the research gets to chip in, all that kind of stuff. And it kind of felt like that. You know, I mean, I've not really thought about it in the past, just quite how much he sort of accidentally tapped into where we are now.
Oh, I think he knew. I think he knew he was doing that.
Yeah, it's a lot less. It's a lot less ridiculous now than it might have seemed back in the day when the film was released. So you look at it, then it feels very hyped up.
I mean, it's the same in Salvador, Glenn. It's the guys chasing the story. You know, James Woods, which I think I need to say that's my other favorite. I love Platoon as well, obviously, but Salvador, epic film. You got those two actors, Belushi and Woods, in the lead roles, and they're chasing that story. You know, enough so that bit at the end with the bullet in the chamber when he doesn't know that, you know, he's live or die by that story. He is. And James Woods nails that film. He does. It's a brilliant film. But Stone was very on the edge when he was making it. He tricked I think it was the Mexican National Guard into lending them the tanks and stuff. Wow. It's so much so that they had to leave Mexico. They had to leave in like a hurry because they were after them. You know, he proper tricked them. But he's a guy I've always kind of respected about that. He's like, we're going to do this right here. We're going to do it now. But he knows what he's doing enough so that he can see we're going to do this right here, right now, and he's going to make it look fantastic.
What a genius mind the man has. Like
genius. I think that's a word I'd use to describe him, Ciaran. I'd say he's a genius.
Oh yeah, and even the way he's delved into politics and everything now too, making documentaries about politics, and
he did Putin conversation.
Yeah, he takes a very kind of negative outlook on his own country as well, which is interesting. You know, but then he tells it like it is.
Yeah,
I mean, he has shifted somewhat. I mean, he's always been, I would describe him as quite a hyperbolic character.
Definitely.
When it comes to his writing and stuff like that, he kind of amps it up.
Definitely.
A lot. Yeah. That's very true when you know, most literally true probably when you look at JFK.
There's a nugget of truth there, but he totally blasts it up, right? Yeah,
it does get a bit Alex Jones sometimes.
Oh yes, I agree. I do like that about him, but I agree. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that you could look at it in some respects as that kind of forward-looking sort of thing of where they were then and what we have now, and the similarities between the two could be kind of linked into that sort of thing, because he was hyping it up much more than it really was back then. It's a very lifted kind of depiction of what's going on. But as his career has gone along, he has sort of spiraled a bit down that Alex Jones kind of.
Well, he did. I mean, he did. I agree. I mean, he even did the JFK documentaries, didn't he? After the film, and a lot of them were just pure conspiracy when you watch them. There's not even, But
I mean, that's the dangerous part sometimes of the work. I mean, conspiracy kind of theory stuff can sometimes seem harmless and all that kind of stuff, but it does have an effect. It does potentially inflict a certain amount of damage when you do that kind of stuff. We can see where we're at now, that nothing's real. We're post-truth. It's everything's kind of the truth is a lie and the lie is the truth, depending on how hard you believe it.
That's poetry, that, Glenn. That's poetry right there.
You put it in your next film. Just give us a little credit.
That's poetry right there, man. That's beautiful. It is. I mean it sincerely. That's profound stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
But he is kind of fascinating in that respect. But it is too easy when you look at something like JFK, because he is so earnest about what he says in these movies, to take it as read that's
truth. I know why.
That's the truth.
Yeah,
same with the Doors. It's very easy to watch that and go, that's who Jim Morrison was, when
that's what happened.
The reality was probably very different to
it was the legend, Glenn. It was the
myth, the mythos.
Exactly, it was a myth of Jim Morrison. That's what it was. I mean, there's a great quote from Ray Manzarek. I put this in a video on Kill Me Died. I did a video on Kill Me Died talking about a little bit of the Doors and like my top 5 kind of underrated performances. And Ray Manzarek said, "Well, that was left the cinema after seeing the Doors. This is the keyboard player from the Doors. So that was a fantastic movie, guys. But was that guy up there on the screen?" It's like I didn't know who that guy was,
Yeah. Well, I imagine, obviously the experience that they would have been, pretty horrific at times. Let's be fair. And it would not have been easy to be around that guy.
I mean, it's with Morrison since I was a teenager, I've watched the shows and read the books and listened to the music, and they didn't know how to deal with the kind of depression and alcoholism and drug abuse that he had, because back then it was like, oh, Jim's drinking too much. They didn't know it was a problem, they just thought he was drinking too much. But it was the 60s, and even though it's not that long ago, people weren't dealing with mental health and stuff the same way they do now, and it was obvious that Jim Morrison obviously had something of a crisis going on there in his life when he was pouring alcohol down his neck to self-medicate. And it was the alcohol that killed him. It wasn't the drugs. He wasn't such a big drug taker as people think. The alcohol, I mean, there's conspiracies that he took some smack, and that's what killed him in France. There's loads of stuff about it. But he was such an important character because not of the legend of him. I do love the movie, but it was because I thought Morrison was a really cool character, and he was a poet to me, and he made me think maybe I could write poetry. Maybe I should read William Blake. He kind of did that for his Morrison. So I love him, and I always will love him for that. But obviously,
the one thing that always kind of bugged me about it was when he the poetry about Oedipus, and for me, he always got that completely arse about face. I mean, it works for what he was doing.
It does.
I mean, it's not what Oedipus was about.
No, it's a show. It was cabaret. He was doing cabaret. That's what he was doing with that song. He was doing cabaret, and it worked, man. It's
it's an electrifying performance, isn't it? I mean, certainly from Val Kilmer.
But you're totally right.
God, he's absolutely amazing.
It was like he took all the ideas and just put them all together.
Yeah.
And then did something that was Morrison. But it was like Oliver Stone. It was like Oliver Stone, you know. It was like Morrison's version of Master Margarita or whatever he was reading at the time, and you know, just took the ideas together and went for it. But I mean, Stone's the same. Stone's films. I love Wall Street. And he said that.
Oh yeah, awesome.
And he said, I mean, he said that's about his father. He said the Hal Holbrook character in Wall Street is his father. He said it's probably one of the most personal films you made because that film was about his father. But he builds up this grand story about Wall Street around that, you know. And I mean, Wall Street. I think it'll be up there next to Talk Radio and Platoon is my favorites. I really do love Wall Street. Charlie Sheen is. I think he's fantastic in it. I really do. But again, I'm a bit of a.
That and Platoon were his two best work, I think.
I think so too. I mean, that's got to be something to do with Stone believing in him and pointing him in the right direction because he never quite gave that type of performance again, Charlie Sheen, that he did in those two movies. So I think that's something to do with him. But you got Martin Sheen with him in Wall Street, Daryl Hannah, who I absolutely adore in Wall Street. She's always been one of my favorites. And of course you got Gordon Gekko.
Oh yeah.
And that's
awesome.
that's another social commentary, you know, like great is good. That
was such a big time for Douglas as well. He had done Basic Instinct, Fatal Attraction, Wall Street, all them movies.
Black Rain. I love Black
Rain.
Black
Rain's awesome.
With the samurais on the motorbike slicing everybody's heads off. And so I love that movie. It's flipping. Well, not everybody.
We're just talking to my good friend David Harkin about that recently. He's a big fan of Black Rain. Yeah.
Great soundtrack, Black Rain as well. But Douglas was nailing it then, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, awesome. Like he's a different level. I was watching him recently in that Netflix show as well, the one where he's the film lecture.
Oh, the Kaminsky Method.
Excellent show in my opinion. Yeah,
I loved it. Well, I'm a big Douglas fan, so I really did love that show. Alan Arkin's great in it as well, and you got what do you call it? Pops up from So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Kathleen Turner's in it.
Kathleen Turner
and your one, what's from? Yeah, I know the one you mean.
But she's
Nancy Travis.
Nancy Travis.
She's great. Yeah.
From Rose Red, I should have said. Because we discussed Stephen King. Nancy Travis.
Yeah.
But sorry, why did we get on that rant there? I'm sorry, I just went.
I was talking about Douglas. Segways are the biggest part of this.
Wall Street. All of us doing Wall Street.
Douglas is good.
Money never sleeps.
The sequel. Do you know what it is? Sometimes Shia LaBeouf is excellent. And I really thought he was good in that Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. I thought that was a really underrated Stone film.
What do you think of Charlie's cameo in it?
Oh, great. When he sees Bud Fox in the restaurant, sitting right where Gordon Gekko was sitting.
Yeah.
It was good.
It
was good. It was good.
Shia LaBeouf is one of those actors that he has to have the right director with him. Someone who's going to tell him to be anything other than himself.
Yeah.
That, it's like, because so many of the films that he's been in, it's like, yeah, just be yourself. It's like, no, please don't.
Well, his best role, in my opinion, was the X-Files episode. So.
Minnie's just said Black Rain is awesome. Very good soundtrack, too. It is. I love the soundtrack of Black Rain. It's an awesome soundtrack, Minnie.
Yeah. Very good show.
It's one of my favorite Ridley. I mean, I know we're not talking about Ridley Scott, but Black Rain cinematically is one of my favorite Ridley Scott the best looking movies, I should say. Cinematography wise, it's beautiful. It's all silhouettes and smoke and shadow. It's beautiful looking film, Black Rain.
This is noir period.
He did that great one with Berenger as well, didn't he? Mimi Rogers, someone to watch over me. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was 86, I think, after Legend.
That'll have been the late
mid-80s,
because it was when Berenger was coming off Platoon and stuff. There you go, coming back to Stone. Let's talk about Platoon.
Oh yeah, Platoon is a big one for me personally. I love Platoon. Class stuff.
It's one of the best casts he ever had, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
and he's had a few great ones like Natural Born Killers and like Talk Radio.
Yeah, but even your the father, Charlie Sheen's father, Martin Sheen, pops up in Platoon, and Oliver Stone himself is in part of it. And
what's that? The great thing in Hot Shots when they pass each other on the boat.
Robert and Platoon.
Was it
Wall Street?
Wall Street. They pass each other on the boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Martin Sheen, I loved you in Wall Street. When the passage of
Oh, that's funny.
That's another topic for another show.
I mean, it was I'd seen The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, before I'd seen Platoon, so I was already in love with David Keith.
Oh,
And he's great in Platoon. I really love him. He's I think he's fantastic in Platoon. The whole cast, man. You got a young Johnny Depp popping up in there.
That's right. Yeah.
Got that almost Jesus Christ pose of Willem Dafoe when he gets shot. And Berenger. If I tint the camera up a little bit there in the corner, you can see him in the corner of the room. That's him right there. I'm a massive Berenger fan. But that was Sniper. Sniper was one of my all-time favorite action movies. But man, he nails that evil, doesn't he, in Platoon? Because Berenger's I can't remember his name now. Was it Sykes? What's his name in Platoon? The bad guy?
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen it.
But you got John C. McGinley.
That's right.
Pops up in there as well. The cast is absolutely fantastic.
McGinley's in a lot of Charlie Sheen stuff, isn't he? He was in Spin City as well. Yeah.
Well, he's in Wall Street together. Him and they sit next to each other in the
that's right. Yeah.
Kind of pen at the beginning where all the brokers are.
That's right.
And he's a great actor. I really like him. He's in a really good film I love called Flypaper. John C. McGinley. He's really good. Like he's, but he's got a lot of energy. He was in 3 of Stone's films, or was it just 2? But he must have liked him.
Oh yeah.
Elias.
A lot of directors go back to a lot of actors, don't they? A lot of different. They have their own pen of actors. Or stable. Yeah.
It's Bonds. It's Sergeant Bonds. That's who Tom Berenger is. Sergeant Bonds. Yes. I just clicked there when you said Elias. I started remembering the names of the characters. But Tom Berenger, for me, in that, the enemy isn't what's outside; it's what's inside. You know, and I mean, I think he missed that with Born on the 4th of July. That's my least favorite Stone film, Born on the 4th of July.
Yeah,
I just didn't land right with me, that one. I do love Willem Dafoe in it when he pops up again, but
Ronkovich,
yeah.
What one bullet can do to a spinal cord, isn't that what Stone talks about it? Like, you know, he shows, because Charlie Rose in that interview said to him, you know, a lot of people say that you don't, why do you go this far and portraying this violence in movies, and he says, well, a lot of movies you could do like True Lies, or you could do the likes of one of the, you know, like The Lion King, and you would never have you wouldn't show the background of the violence, but in the movies he does, he shows the violence and the consequences of the violence, you know.
Oh, his films are very violent. I mean, a lot of his films are ultra violent. I mean, I don't know if I mean, the story about Platoon was, sorry, this just popped up on my head there. He sold that as a screenplay when he was trying to get his other films off the ground. And nobody made it, and he came back to it about 5 years after he'd done The Hand, which was his first film with Michael Caine. And then he'd done Salvador and I think Talk Radio, and he was starting to get a bit of clout. And he came back around and got the rights back for his own script.
Wow.
How cool! Right. How cool is that story? I just remembered that there when we were talking about it. I read that book, Chasing the Light, that he wrote a couple of months back. But he's cool. He is. I mean, but I agree with what you said, Glenn. He's not as cool as he was. He's gone like pure Stone turned up to 12, turned up to 11 now, hasn't he? He really he's gone like totally hyper.
Yeah, it's sort of, where do you go? That's the thing, isn't it? Because you've always got the general wisdom is you've got to top yourself on each occasion, and it's like when you're already starting off with something that's kind of hyped up, somewhat like talk radio, and then you kind of like you'll work your way through like Natural Born Killers and all those kind of films. Where do you go at that point? I mean, is it genuinely how he feels, how he thinks, or is it him just being in a different place from where he was, and it would look back at it and go, oh, actually, he wasn't quite so crazy in 20 years' time, kind of thing.
But a film of his that was very underrated. I felt it was actually better than people say it was, but W, the George Bush one.
Oh, mate, I love W, Ciaran. I love it. I love it. I think it's great.
He was in Yale with George W. Bush apparently in the same class.
I think it's better than JFK or Nixon. I really do. I think W's like exactly what I was feeling.
W.
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 He totally, and that's I'm not a big Josh Brolin fan, but he nails that role.
How can you do that to Thanos?
He really does. I mean, there's a couple of times where he's nailed it. There's something I don't like about him as a guy. I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm like that with a few people. I remember Glenn. We worked with that girl, and I didn't like Tom Hardy, and she gave us such a hard time because I wasn't a big Tom Hardy fan. It was like that. I'm like that with Tom Hardy too. There's just something about him I can't quite. And I'm like that with
Tom Hardy.
And I'm like that, but I'm like that with Josh Brolin. There's something about him, but in W, he's amazing. It's like I forgive all these other cinema sins just for that. It's a great performance.
Did you not like him in No Country for Old Men?
Oh, that's for another stream. That's
Okay.
a very good film. Like that one, actually.
I really don't. But no. I don't want to. That's why I skirted around Diary of the Dead before. I don't want to start a No Country for Old Men thing. It's not one of my favorite movies. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Another Tommy Lee Jones one though.
Well, he's totally wasted in that movie. He may as well have not even been in it, and I think that's the point. No Country for Old Men. He's just useless in the film. I think that's what they were saying. I do, and I think they made the point. But the Coen Brothers, Hoodsucker Proxy, Big Lebowski, Blood Simple. It's like, to me, No Country for Old Men's nothing compared to those films. It really isn't. I mean, Raising Arizona is a masterpiece, and then you make something, but that's for another stream, isn't it?
Right.
That's my cute way of getting out of that one.
Moving along to a different topic now. We are calling on Lampy Man.
Oh.
Talking about our nasties.
Oh yeah, I mean, how do we go around this without going right across the old history of it? I guess we'll give it a little bit of a just a reminder for those who either weren't around or don't know it. But given that we are currently going through yet another very similar kind of panic, essentially, which has been brewing for about at least the last 10 years. The video Nasties was basically another one of those scares, which has been echoed throughout time with whatever is the popular media at the time.
Yep.
And involved the government seeking to censor movies on the, at the time, unlegislated for content on video cassettes. Bearing in mind the seismic sort of change that the video cassette represented, i.e. the democratization of cinema. And I don't think it's an exaggeration to call it that. You could find what you wanted, watch it when you wanted, in the manner that you wanted to watch that film. You could stop it, you could start it, you could watch it again, which you could not do without some very expensive equipment previously. And everybody had the chance to have access to that within a very short time, usually through rental and all that kind of stuff. But the government was allegedly very concerned about the content of these things, because obviously at the time the cinema companies, the studios did not want their material on video cassettes, because they didn't want it stolen and reproduced, and it was very easy to do. You just needed 2 video recorders. So all these excuses kind of came into place, and the government had a very convenient way of distracting the British public from a lot of the stuff that was going on at the time. A lot of political problems for the Tories at the time, so this was very, very handy for them. What a lot of people don't realise is that previous to the Video Nasty scare, which started around about 81, 82, the government was not actually that interested in censorship. They were the more traditional conservatives in that they wanted kind of like, you know, freedom for adults to be able to kind of take the kind of entertainment that they wanted. Although Thatcher, through Graham Bright in particular, decided they wanted to get rid of porn, but all the MPs went, no, that's legislating for adults. But of course, video horror came up, and that was a lot less defensible. And the usual arguments were, kids can get hold of these things; they can watch it. Somebody who's not in their right mind can get hold of this stuff, and they can watch it. And eventually, the government got their way. The Obscene Publications Act was kind of used as the basis for the prosecutions, but on top of that, you had the Video Recordings Act, which basically said that any films and entertainment and the likes, with a few exemptions, were allowed to be, but would have to go through the BBFC. So the BBFC, who were struggling at the time, suddenly had a massive expansion in their offices and staff, and suddenly had a few thousand films that they could charge the distributors to rate. And all of this was done in the name of kids. Now we fast forward to where we are now, and we've got the Online Safety Act, which is part of a massively long, actually. It's been going on for, you know, a good 6 or more years from the previous government. In fact, the Online Safety Act is actually, it's not a Labour legislation. It's actually something which has been carried over, which is, again, arguing it's for kids. It's to protect kids, except it's not. You just even a slight bit of probing of these guys that are trying to push it through, and you can very, very quickly get them to admit that, oh yes, it's to help with surveillance, and it's going to be hitting adults as well. So, you know, this is the thing. I mean, I got my name on YouTube through the Video Nasties, really, because I did a whole couple of series on that, and a huge finale. And here we are again. It's 1981 now all over again.
I feel exactly the same way, Glenn. I do. I really think it's the beginning of that whole cycle again.
And it's funny because it's all always aimed at what is the current form of entertainment.
Yeah,
it's always the new thing. At one point, it was books. When the printing press came out, you know, it was books. At one point, it was the Bible being available in English. Then it was plays. Then it's films at the cinema. And then when the films came into the home, that's a problem. It's TV. It's comic books. It's, you know, it's always whatever is the form of
flavor of the month.
Yeah, it's the whatever the entertainment that younger people are more adept with and more attracted to. It's always the thing that the government will kind of pin it on, and it's quite frustrating in so many respects, because you sort of see it and you go, how do people not see what this is?
I know, like that's exactly how I feel about it. It's a guise for whatever else is coming. It is. And because it's gone through, which I didn't think it would have, but it has. I wonder what's next. I do.
Well, it depends on what form of entertainment comes out next.
Yeah.
That's literally what it's going to be about. Is because, I mean, I don't know where you go from the internet. What is the next step on from the internet?
Well, if you've got a foot fetish, you can always watch This Till Dawn now.
It's the whole thing is, yeah. It's the whole thing, isn't it? It's like, you know, because pop culture has always been the target of the people, the powers that be, and you know, now it's the internet. I do wonder where it goes from there, because I mean, obviously, video games get that kind.
Do you not think the woke movement, PC, the amount of PC and the cancellations of people it was all gearing towards this whole thing? You know, it seems to be a domino effect with it, doesn't it?
I don't know, because I mean, the thing is, most of this stuff in practice, the actual stuff that forces the legislation and the safety barriers and the blocks usually comes from very conservative politicians rather than some purple-haired student with a nose piercing. Yes, those people are kind of like the sort of people that you look at and they stand out. And often the arguments are kind of ridiculous. But it's never them that actually affect the change. Not really.
No, I agree totally. Yeah.
It's usually down to corporate interests and governmental interests. That's where it usually comes from. So it's always worth sort of going, yeah, you got those voices. It's like, anyone could have turned around to Mary Whitehouse back in the day and told her to, go sling your hook. And a lot of people did. But it was only when a couple of opportunist Tory MPs and the Prime Minister decided that was something that they could use.
Yeah.
And it happened. I mean, at the moment, obviously, we've got like a Labour government that's just pushed it through.
Yeah.
So you go, well, what is their problem? Well, they've got multiple problems at the moment. We're dealing with America being utterly insane. Quite frankly, it is an absolute horror show with what's going on over there.
Yeah, I would say uncompassionate as well. I mean, when you are the biggest country in the world, you have a basic human right to help people that can't help themselves.
Yeah, so you've got all that stuff going on. This is the thing. The Labour government at the moment do have a plethora of problems. So this is a way of kind of taking your eye off of that to some degree. I agree.
I totally agree.
Because, who really would have expected the Labour government to be doing this? I don't know. I wouldn't have. I mean, I
wouldn't have expected them to cut the education fund in the way they did, Glenn, either, but they did.
I know. So there's all that stuff going on. So this is a convenient way very easy way for them to sort of do that kind of stuff. Plus, probably kick a bit more data over to GCHQ.
Exactly. The same as it was back in 81, 82, right? It's the same thing. It really is. I just watched that documentary about The Only Arrest. It was the Nightmares in a Damaged Brain, the producer. He was the only arrest ever, right? Anyone to spend time in jail because of the video Nasties.
I think there were a few people along the way, but he was the first and the most prominent. That's the thing, isn't it? When you come to Nightmares in a Damaged Brain, there's one of the few Nasties that you can actually sort of look at and you go, I can understand why people were upset.
But I mean,
it is relentlessly depressing.
But I really like it. I do. I love that movie so much.
It's one of those movies. It's kind of one of the Nasties that you sort of sit down and you watch and you sort of have to steel yourself a little bit to actually push yourself through it.
But it was just everything that was wrong that put in one movie, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the BDSM stuff at the beginning, and then the kid coming in, and then the axe, and it's like, what can we do? We'll just do everything possible to shock everyone.
I mean, they were totally going for it. I mean, it doesn't have a lick of humor in that film either.
Oh, I know.
It's like, oh my god.
That's kind of one of the reasons I like it. It takes it pretty seriously, and I like that about it.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I find Cannibal Holocaust a more tasteful film to sit through.
I would agree. Well, when the animal cruelty's cut out, anyway.
Deleted scenes, yeah. Okay.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, Glenn, I was saying when we're advertising this stream, I mean, you're the reason. Cynical Celluloid, Glenn, for anyone that doesn't know, is the reason why the Boneyard Cinema even exists. Me and Glenn worked together, and we got talking about these kind of movies.
All alone and it's midnight.
Talking about John Russo's Midnight, but I'd actually used Glenn's research in a college paper I'd written on Cannibal Holocaust, and I'll never forget that day we were at work and.
You just heard my voice, didn't you? I think it was. He says, "Are you
Cynical Celluloid, man?" And I was just like fanboying all day. But
I think that's the first time anybody's really kind of recognised me as well. Was that? But yeah, I do remember like several weeks of you walking into the room. You'd come in behind me. You'd be singing that song.
Midnight we did. It was kind of
I'd just done the video for it, didn't I, around that time?
I love that movie. I still do. I think it's a great film, Midnight by Jack Russo. It's one of my favorite, not favorite, but like guilty pleasure movies. I really love that film a lot. I do.
I mean, that's when I realised how relentlessly positive you tend to be.
I do get accused of that every now and again.
It's a nice thing. I mean, because it's not fun. I mean, when you get like kind of reviewers, it's all too easy for them to go down the nostalgia critic line and just be relentlessly mean about a movie because it's in their eyes bad. And when it comes to like bad movies, there are video nasties. There are so many bad films.
Well, they are. I mean, all they did, the video nasties. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But one thing the video nasties did was give me a list of movies that I had to see. It was, that's what it did. The same as the Turkey Awards, the Golden Turkey Awards. Gave us a list of movies that I had to see.
You're not the first person to say that. I mean, they really did codify the films that you have to watch, and that was the thing. And thousands of people have gone out to try to complete their collection.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how censorship tends to work in reverse. I mean, when you see it like with what's going on at the moment, and how many people immediately went out and got a VPN. It's like, if you make something illegal, if you make something forbidden, there's a lure which is kind of attached to them. And like with the video nasty, so many of those movies would have just gone away.
Totally. And they're bad movies, some of them,
A lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, like with the Jess Franco stuff, most of the ones that are in the video nasties list are particularly bad examples of his work.
So Bloody Moon, is that the most famous one on the nasties, right? Is it Bloody Moon?
That's one of the better known ones, yes. That and Devil Hunter.
Oh, that's the great one. That's the shot scene, right? I was actually talking about this in a bar the other night, Glenn. I mentioned you to somebody because I was talking about the drinking game. So every time you see the blow in the pants, you have to take a shot.
The black trunks.
Oh, the black trunks, sorry.
You'll be hammered by the time the movie's over.
Oh, you are. You're totally wasted by the time the film ends. But you've got to be able to get through it. I enjoy the hell out of that film. I do. It's great.
It was between that and Venus and Furs that made me fall in love with Jess Franco's work. And two very extreme ends.
Oh,
really.
Well, Venus and Furs is almost an art film, isn't it? It's,
the only thing that Bloody Moon has really going for it is it's beautifully shot.
It is, and some of the gore effects are fantastic in it as well.
Although, do you remember the boulder that just comes out of nowhere, lands behind her, and she goes, "Oh my god! Oh right, I get on with the rest of my day," kind of thing. And it's a big polystyrene thing as well. It's so bounce.
I mean, there's what is it? Is it the drill or the bandsaw in that one?
It's a circular saw.
Circular saw. Right?
Yeah.
And you see the guy's bald head go into it, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's a girl.
The girl
puts the girl in there, and he cuts her in half.
Oh, I was getting mixed up with Absurd. It's the bald guy in Absurd.
Yeah, no, Absurd's the one where he Giovanna Lombardo Radice gets killed in a really, really gory way again. I mean, it was his kind of raison d'etre, wasn't it, really, throughout most of his career.
Oh, well, you see, I love Cannibal Apocalypse. That's like one of my favorites. And it was because, was that Section 3 or was that...
Cannibal Apocalypse,
Apocalypse?
Section 3. Yeah.
Section 3. That's my favorite. I love that. I watch it still quite often because I really got into, well, obviously zombie movies because they're Romero. And then when I started watching zombie movies, that was like kind of Fulci came next, which was like, Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Yeah.
And then from there, I kind of went on to the other Nightmare City and City of the Living Dead. And then I found Cannibal Apocalypse because of the video nasties or Section 3. And man, I really like that.
That was the second video nasty I saw.
John
right back in about,
we were talking about him earlier on.
About 91.
Oh, it's great.
I saw that. Thereabouts. I think it was about 91. It might have been about late 80s. I saw that on a double bill with I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh, that's a great double bill.
Talk about compare and contrast.
I know, eh? Got almost like a comic book, well, not comic book, but over the top gore, and then real intense serious.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, the funny thing was about Cannibal Apocalypse, was it really kind of sparked my interest in horror films big time. The first film that did that was Alien. But that one, when we saw Cannibal Apocalypse, there was a trailer for Dawn of the Dead on it.
Oh man,
And
that's
I just
a legend made of.
I'm like, what's this film? It looks fucking terrifying. I mean, the thing is, the trailer for that, the original trailer for that, is much more terrifying in some respects than the actual film itself.
Oh,
But I do remember there's a book called The Zombies that Ate Pittsburgh.
yeah, it's one of my. I only recently got that.
Yeah, that
like
and
last
John,
year. I'd never.
that and John McCarthy's splatter movies.
Yeah, I've got it up here. I only recently got it, but it's for anybody that's watching the stream. It's a fantastic book.
It's a really, really, really good book.
It goes right up to Day of the Dead as well.
It does, and between that and splatter movies book, there's a lot of pictures of Dawn of the Dead in that, and I'm looking at this thing going, "Oh my god, this looks absolutely depraved. I gotta watch it." Of course, it took until about about 95, I think, the first re-release, and it was a heavily cut version.
Oh, totally. I had the I think it was Forefront Video, the one that was the gold box around it with the Flyboy is kind of a comic book with a scope on his head.
Yeah, you know what? I got the original. I got the rental copy. This is how desperate I was to watch this movie. I right before it was actually released on video, I used to go into Trax, which was the local video store, pre-Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, I know.
Much better.
Well, the proper mom and pop stores with I mean, our local newsagent used to rent videos as well, and he used to give me all the top shelf stuff that I was too young to watch because he knew I loved movies.
Did he give you a little step ladder to get up there? The thing was, I went in there and I was like, one of the things he used to do, let us do, was look through the catalogue.
Oh, cool.
Right? So they had a kind of dealer's catalogue with all the stuff that's going to be coming out, all the stuff that's available, all that sort of stuff. And I saw Dawn of the Dead in there. It says, "Can you find out how much that is?" Right. And they went, "Yeah, sure." And eventually it's like, "Yeah, it's going to be about £50." Bear in mind, this is like, 94, 95. I was in not a very good paying job either. And I saved up my money and I bought a brand new rental copy of that thing.
Do you still have it, the original? Or?
No, I don't, unfortunately. But I was so excited to see that, and I loved it even in that cut form. But eventually, obviously, they released the Cannes cut.
Was it that was BMG? Wasn't it? The BMG,
yes, it was. Yeah,
BMG.
And then they had a few kind of cuts out of that, didn't they? There was a cut from the kids getting zombies.
It was fun. It was fun buying them all. I had fun finding all the cuts and buying them, and
I still got all the DVD versions that I had.
Me too.
Still got the BMG one, and because that's got its own audio commentary with Tom Savini.
It's brilliant. Yep, it is. It had the kind of black cover with the zombie from the heli.
Yeah, black and white of the zombie, and
I've got a figure of him back there. The guy.
Yeah.
I'll grab it. It's great.
I love comedy. I love audio tracks and videos like with the commentary tracks. They're brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. One of the ones that I particularly loved was
cool.
on the Dawn one was the cast one. There's the box set that has, in fact, it's like in several different iterations of it now. There's the box sets which have the three main different versions.
Yeah, I bought the second sight when they did the 4K. I bought
it's Arrow did it, and
I've got that one too with the Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's the same, same version, same commentaries, all that kind of stuff. But there is one other which I do know the guy that. One of the guys that was involved with doing it, which is the extended More Hours cut.
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Which is, it's more of a curiosity than it is a coherent package.
I really love it. It's very often now I'll grab that up on YouTube and watch it if I'm going to watch the film.
Yeah,
Oh,
So
well.
that's got like all the different kind of. They're basically collected so many copies from around the world. I went, okay, this has got a unique piece in it. This has got a unique piece in it. This is missing that bit, so we'll take it from there. And they just stitched it together, and the soundtrack goes all over the goddamn place all the time. But yeah, I mean, that was such a formative moment for me, and that came from like a double bill of Cannibal Apocalypse and I Spit on Your Grave. I do remember, before we watched I Spit on Your Grave, my sister was kind of talking about it, or somebody was talking about it. I remember there was some chatter about it, that she gets the guy in the bathtub and cuts his bits and pieces off there, throws it at his chest and does this, and it's like, again, really? The reality was different.
It is. There's some really the bit when she makes him strip nude next to the river.
Mm-hmm.
That bit always stood out to me as being so creepy. I don't know why, but even more so than that scene in the bath at the end when she sits downstairs and puts the music on, and listens to him scream. But the bit where she makes him take his clothes off by the river.
Yeah.
God,
I mean, it's one of the low key.
It's a scary film to me. Still, it really is scary.
It is one of the more underrated films on the Video Nasties list.
Yeah. I checked out that it's absolutely crazy film. I didn't watch it all; just watched parts of it. But Cannibal Holocaust. Did you ever hear that one?
Oh yeah, man. Of course.
That's weird stuff, isn't it?
That's the first thing I ever heard of yours, Glenn. Was your Cannibal Holocaust work?
I mean, I did a 3-part extended edition on that at one point, because it's such a fascinating film on so many levels. It's a genuinely good film.
It is. It's the best thing Deodato ever did. It's
by a long shot.
And I mean, I kind of like. I think it was Body Count, the slasher he did with the kind of white-haired spirit in the woods.
Yeah.
And Contraband. Oh, he did Contraband too, right? Was it Deodato who did Contraband?
Cut and Run.
Cut and Run with Richard Lynch. Yeah, that's
which wasn't terribly good.
No, I know exactly, but Holocaust it's a very well-made film, and it looks fantastic to this day. It really does.
It does. It's incredibly well shot. The story has real meaning.
It does.
It's a very vicious piece of satire. Is kind of how I look at it.
I mean, it's like we talked about Stone before with Natural Born Killers, kind of given that satire-y type spin. On the news, and these guys are not ambulance chasers. They make the violence happen that they want to sell, right? I mean, they're the instigators of the most evil things in the film.
Yeah, and of course it's the cornerstone of the Video Nasties as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, all right, when it came into my mind there.
I mean, there was Cannibal Holocaust, I Spit on Your Grave, Driller Killer.
I'm a huge Driller Killer fan.
It's a really, really good film.
I love Ferreira. He's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's relentlessly depressing and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, but it's totally, yeah.
It is one of those films that when you actually sort of sit down and you look at it, that is Oedipus done right.
Yep.
It's kind of twisted a few of the sort of bits and pieces, but that's how I look at that film. It's basically a grindhouse version of Oedipus.
Oh, I agree.
It's a very literary film in some respects, kind of shockingly so.
It was interesting. I remember, I think this was years ago when you talked about it, but it was the guy, his father in the church at the beginning.
Mm.
When
the bum.
Yeah, when he reaches over to touch his hand and he pulls away, and then it's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of what some people say is that that's actually his father. I'm not convinced. I'm not even sure it's necessarily important.
No, I don't think it is his father. But I remember me having this conversation.
Yeah, I think it's more to do with what he represents more than anything.
Yeah, it's what he might become if he doesn't succeed.
He sees his father in that character.
Yeah, so if he doesn't become an artist, if he doesn't get that, he might become that bum, and that's what he projects onto the bums in the Bowery. And Ferreira's cool, man. He's like, for me, he's the epitome of cool. In fact, I think he's a very, very cool filmmaker.
One thing that bothers me about this film, and I don't know if any of you others think about it, is the ending.
Well, when the light goes out.
The light goes out, and on one version, it just cuts to red.
Did you hear the commentary ever in it when I mean, I'm going to swear. Is it okay, Kerry, to swear?
Yeah.
Ferreira says, "What the fuck? This isn't the ending of my film." And I think it was the first commentary on Driller Killer I heard, which was probably one of the old DVD releases. Like maybe it's one of the first ones. But he just says, "What the fuck? This isn't the end of my film." And then the commentary just cuts off.
Yeah, he's trolling, I guarantee you. But
I just loved it. I was like, really? And it made us look for another ending. Of course, there isn't.
That was the thing. I mean, I watched it and I was like, did they cut the ending?
Aye.
Is that censorship? What happened?
She just gets into bed next to him, doesn't she? And turns out the light.
Yeah.
It's a great ending, I think.
The one thing I always sticks out in my head is my walk to school every day. I'd go past this tiny little living room turned into a video store, and in the window was the poster of Driller Killer with the drill bit going in the guy's head.
Red spiral on the.
And you sort of furtively glance at it because you're not supposed to look at that.
I had the same thing with Bad Lieutenant. The poster of Bad Lieutenant was hung in our local video shop.
Oh, deadly.
And it just made us want to see it. And it was like, this was 93 or whatever, I think 92, 93. And I remember my old man saying, "You can't watch that, John. I'm sorry. You know, this like, maybe when you're older."
Yeah.
Man, it just made us want to watch it. And of course, I did get a copy and I did watch it. but man, I mean, I had that thing with a Bad Lieutenant poster. It just looked so, you know, the one when he's naked. And it's just him totally nude, and they've got the thing. There's like a little red warning in the corner of it saying, you know, some viewers may find this offensive or whatever. And I was like, I've got to see that movie.
I seem to remember getting Revenge of the Nerds out when it first came out on video. My stepdad got it out for us. Probably had no idea what the fuck was in that film.
As soon as you see the title, I hear the Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds. That was the magic, though. It was going in those video stores in the early days.
Wow, that was special, wasn't it?
Oh,
it was, because I mean, it's like you say how you felt about it. What was the first? How did you feel when you first walked into a video store the first time?
Ciaran, go ahead.
Super excited. That was obviously my walking into video stores was the early 90s. Was my kind of I would have been 4 or 5, 6, and seeing all these movies. And you know, it's such a different feel now. Everything's got very mellowed out and melancholy when it comes to seeing films now, because you've got it at the click of a button on Netflix or whatever, or on the Fire Stick or whatever, and it's just not the same anymore. You know, it's a lot of it's just taken away from us, that whole excitement about stuff. You know,
it was an experience picking a movie. And I mean, now you're looking at a thumbnail, it's not the same to me. I mean, it is kind of, but it's, I mean, for me, it was zombie flesh eaters and seeing that hand coming out of the grave. You know, this is the extreme version on the video cover, and seeing it and picking it up and holding that in my hands and thinking, this is what I'm going to do for the next 20 years of my life. You know, I'm going to watch movies like Zombie Flesh Eaters. And to this day, Zombie Flesh Eaters is still one of my favorites because of that experience of picking that video up, watching it, not knowing anything about it because I'd never seen any trailers for it, you know. And that was I had this conversation about Carnival of Souls actually in the pub the other day. And back in the day, when films were harder to find, there was like dealers on the local market that my dad would take us to, Chesley Street Market, and you could ask them for them, and they'd give you like a copy or a copy or a copy. You know, they weren't the official videos. These were like second, third, or fourth generation VHSs of films like Exorcist that you couldn't get at the time, or Clockwork Orange. You know, like that was still really hard to get. And so I was watching these really degraded third, fourth generation copies sometimes, but I loved them all, man. I saw the Beyond like that for the first time, so fuzzy, so I could hardly see what it was, and it was great.
The first time I saw Cannibal Holocaust was when basically my lecturer gave me that, because I was doing my dissertations on those films. It was that, and I can't remember what the other film was. He gave me 2 films, just give me a copy of them. Real rough copies as well. It's like CD about VHS.
I know, I love that. I guess I'm a CD guy. I love that. I love the seediness of it. You know,
gardening. Okay.
The fact that I wasn't supposed to be seeing these. You know,
Kerry.
Well, for me, again, like Ciaran, it was the 90s, but we didn't have a video player until maybe 95, 96. Mm-hmm. So for me, the first time I watched a video was 92, down in a friend of my mum's house in Limerick. and we watched Terminator 2. And,
Terminator 2, awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
See, that's the thing. I remember watching for the first time the original Terminator and having heard, you know how it is, the playground legends.
Hmm.
Oh, this film has this and it's
Was it the Virgin VHS, Glenn? The Virgin Terminator? Remember the Virgin?
can't honestly remember.
That's the first one I saw. The VHS was a Virgin release of Terminator the first time.
Well, I'd have seen it more or less shortly after it got released.
Is it 84 or 85 or something?
The movie came out in 84, so 85 probably.
on video.
86.
I mean, for me, it's sort of harking back to what I said about earlier. It was a seismic kind of change that all of a sudden you can go in and you can choose something to watch. Because what we had before was just you could go to the cinema. If you wanted to watch an old film at the cinema, you would have to get a bunch of people to petition your local cinema to.
Yep, we used to do that too in Tyneside Cinema in Newcastle.
So you'd have to do that kind of thing to actually watch a film at the cinema. When it came to TV, whatever was on was on. So you had no choice as to what you wanted to watch when you wanted to watch it. And walking into that place and going, there's 300 or 400 films in here, and I can choose what I want to watch. And I could watch it at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, in the comfort of my own home, that kind of thing. I just remember walking into, because Trax was in Melton Mowbray, upstairs, down this narrow street.
Behind some red curtains.
Just this parlor of movies.
And
it's just like, it's the first time.
Was it something else after dark? No.
It had its adult section and all that kind of
they
thing
all
as
did,
well.
didn't they? They all did.
Yeah, of course it did. And yeah, I never got to experience the end of it where they went, there's stuff under the counter.
Yeah, I never saw the end of those movies either. I was always done in about 5 or 10 minutes.
I mean, when I say under the counter stuff, it wasn't just porn. It was it would have been kind of movies that the police would not like to see on your shelves. So just walking in there and having that, can you imagine the first time you, if you only ever got to read a book at school, and you walk into a library, and you get to choose what you want to.
Yeah,
you get to choose it. It can be whatever tickles your fancy.
There's a great scene in Kevin Smith's Clerks when they go from the small video shop to the big one, and he walks in. It's like heaven, and he just falls down on his knees in the aisles, and it's like, because it's just aisles and aisles of videos.
Yeah,
and the disappointment of picking up the cassette and it's got that little tab on it. Not available.
Can you remember snapping the tabs off long play and short play videos? So you could snap.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, that was awesome.
So you couldn't record over them if you wanted.
Yeah. It's like your old audio cassettes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You can put them on slow play and long play, so they can do 6 hours worth of stuff on them too. Awesome.
I mean, the whole kind of thing. I mean, that's the thing. The technology was so exciting and just changed every kind of year. And the whole kind of VHS and beta battle was quite something to look back on.
First time I saw E.T. was on Betamax.
You just triggered a memory there for me, Glenn. Sorry. The first time I ever watched either a VHS or a Betamax was a Betamax, and it was Point Break.
Point Break? Oh, that's a
I was in a summer camp in Carrigard, and at North Donegal or Northwest Donegal. And a group of us went to the local shop and we couldn't choose what we wanted to watch, so we picked Point Break because somebody fancied Keanu Reeves.
Oh well, I think we all did in Point Break. I fancied Keanu Reeves in Point Break. Johnny Utah. He's amazing in that film. They all are. I think they all are. Patrick Swayze's kick ass. You got James Lee Gross popping up in there. It's a brilliant cast. Point Break. The soundtrack kicks ass. Catherine Bigelow. I think she's working with Ed Latch. Was she working with Ed Lachman then? Who shot Nate? It's a beautiful, beautiful looking movie.
I remember it's not that good actually.
I think it's a beautiful looking movie. She's got kind of a 1, 2, 3 hit with like Near Dark, Point Break, and Blue Steel. I love those 3 movies. I think they're brilliant. Well, on that thought, I'm gonna go and grab a beer. I'll be back in a second.
No worries.
Because I'm running low.
Grab one for me too.
Now, I do when I mentioned the video nasties the first time I actually sort of got to see them, and seeing those big cassette boxes and knowing that you're not supposed to be watching this stuff. Yeah, that's it's just a wonderful little plastic package of forbidden this thing.
Well, we were lucky here in me and you in Ireland. We didn't have anything like that until
it's been
86 or so.
it's been very hasn't been restricted at all so far, and you know,
I mean, the
well,
thing was,
like,
I mean, the thing was, even before the Video Recordings Act actually was passed, a lot of movies came out and they were in a cut form because that's what the distributors thought the BBFC, or at least the Obscene Publications Act, would allow for. So they shouldn't get prosecuted. So a lot of these pre-cert films are actually more heavily cut than the certified version in some cases. But then you got the kind of flip of it as well. Yeah, like Evil Dead. Evil Dead had a cinema certificate, but then it was banned for release on home video. So there's all that kind of stuff going on. So you never quite knew what you were going to get. And I think Absurd came in 2 different versions. There's 2 different flavors of it. It was like a censored version and extreme version. But the difference between the cassettes was so small that a lot of distributors or rental people didn't know what they had. So they were like, kind of, is this the kosher version or is it the...
Cheers, buddy.
Well, I think you see for us as well, like, the Catholic Church had a lot of influence, and what was, shown, like, The Exorcist was obviously censored or not. We couldn't watch that until 99. Same with The Clockwork Orange for different reasons, but the thing is, like, the closest we got to an Obscene Publications Act was Bertie Ahern before he was a Taoiseach, leading a group of well-wishers to a video shop in Dublin, and it was like, that was it. Like, there's no...
Yeah, and then on the same day, he probably went and put in a few brown envelopes and other walks of life.
Exactly.
It was corrupt in other ways.
Yeah, that's a little inside joke for any non-Irish viewers.
And then it's like the classic idea that the mobsters and mafia members, they'd go to mass in the morning and then go kill a couple of people in the afternoon.
That's right, yeah. Doing God's work.
What did I miss? I just came back into a crazy conversation. I was only talking 2 minutes.
No.
I heard he's going to run for president, actually, but that's another story.
Yeah, he's nominated, yeah.
Keanu Reeves?
No.
Yeah. I'm just kidding, because I missed that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, he's put his name forward, all right. So
Alex Winters is vice president.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, there was an incident, and I think it was I can't remember. It was like early 2000s, which sort of almost threw a lot of the laws that had been kind of agreed on into distribute. Because on top of the video nasties, right, there was Section 3. And Section 3 is basically search and seizure, which allows for... It's kind of like if you order something from abroad, and customs are perfectly within their rights just to go, you're not having it. Right. So Section 3 works like that. The police can go, we've got, we suspect this place has got illicit material. So they'll go to the magistrates, and the magistrates will grant them permission to go in and just take stuff, basically. So it's the police essentially just going in and nicking your shit, right? They don't have to prosecute. There's no need for them to prosecute. And for you to get your stuff back requires you to go to court and argue for each thing. So be that each individual cassette or each, kind of each movie title, whatever. And it's like, there was an incident. I think it was in a Blockbuster when there was still a thing. It's towards the end of when they were around, and a little movie called A Serbian Film.
Oh, yes.
Which it was BBFC certificated, so it was the cut version, all that kind of stuff. But somebody complained about this movie. The police went in and seized all the copies of it and just walked out. And it was like, okay, is this happening again? Because that was one of the most remarkable things, I think, about the Video Nasties era, in my opinion, was less the Section 2 stuff, which was the prosecuted and non-prosecuted stuff. Don't believe Wikipedia when it has a Section 1. It doesn't exist. Well, Section 1 does exist. It's Section 1 of the OPA, but it's a definition of scope, essentially. Which basically means Section 1 of the OPA is the part of the document that goes, this is the stuff that we're talking about, right? So, and if I remember right, that contains the test for obscenity. Basically, that's the part where it goes, certain types of material that has a tendency to deprave and corrupt a significant portion of those who might watch it. Paraphrasing slightly, but that's essentially what it's about.
So their version of the Bechdel test.
Yeah. So Section 2 was the most pernicious part, because at least the others had the day in court. You know, this stuff would get seized and it would get prosecuted under Section 2. It would either go to court or it would get dropped.
So is that stuff like Fight for Your Life and things like that? Yeah.
Yeah, so Section 3 is that end. That's Section 2, sorry.
All right, Section 2.
Fight for Your Life. That went to court, that kind of stuff, or at least was threatened with go to court. Section 3, they didn't have to do that. It was just literally to go, yeah, that looks dodgy or that sounds dodgy, right? And that led to the likes, very famously, of the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas getting seized.
I remember that. I remember reading about it. The most benign little comedy ever.
Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton. The big red one. They thought that was a porn.
No.
And this was actually, it's one of the most illuminating parts as well, because it showed the absolute ignorance of the police.
Great movie, by the way, The Big Red One by Sam Fuller. It's a brilliant film.
So, I mean, the only thing that was a little bit of a saving grace was if they went in and they seized like 400 copies, the police would have to sit down, not just watch each title, they would have to watch each cassette, right? Every cassette. If they had 10 copies of the dullest movie, can you imagine they had to watch Devil Hunter 20 times? I might be up for it, but I'm a sick bastard. But yeah, they would have to do that. They would have to sit down and they'd have to watch each and every cassette because there were variances. It's like the Absurd thing I was saying earlier.
Yeah,
Absurd came in two different flavors. So one was potentially not obscene. The other one was obscene in the eyes of the law, or at least could be prosecuted as obscene. So yeah, they had to kind of watch each and every one because they had no idea. They didn't know, because this was a thing. Some sneaky bastards in these places, you know, these guys that would do a hooky copy would record, say, half the cassette would be Star Wars.
I had that loads of times from Video Shop.
Cut hardcore porn.
Yep, I had that loads of times back in the day. Not porn, but two films on one tape, or the whole film wouldn't be on the tape.
Or
anything that they thought was dodgy, they would sometimes bury, basically, because they'd go, the police is only going to watch the first 10 minutes. So hopefully they'll get away with it. There's all those kind of shenanigans kind of went on, which is always amusing. And yeah, Yeah, but the Section 3 stuff essentially was really, really bad in many respects because they could just take Best Little Whorehouse in Texas
Mm.
and run away with it. And
So
you would
was
have
that
to
things
pay
like
to go to court.
was Evil Dead Section 3?
No, that was Section 2.
That was Section 2. So that was one of the ones that was
But
Palace.
it got
Palace
non
2?
it succeeded in court.
Yeah.
So it wasn't obscene.
Well, I remember when I was getting into it and reading the books and watching the documentaries, the Palace Pictures guy who fought the Evil Dead case was always in them talking about them. He was a really interesting guy. He's a good interviewee as well. He was very interesting.
Yeah.
I own Palace I think it was Palace Pictures, right? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but he was always cool. Embassy as well. I remember there was some great guys. I wish I could remember the title of that Nightmare on a Damaged Brain guy. It was a really good documentary. It was just on Prime. I'll look it up just in case. Just
Scavioli or something like that, isn't it? I can't remember exactly.
But it was a great.
The Section 3, there was so much injustice through that because it was just literally the police coming in and stealing your shit. And it probably ruined a lot of people. Bear in mind, one of the characteristics of the people that would start a little video store, given the time, was a lot of people were unemployed, particularly miners. The mines were shutting down. Tens of thousands of people were losing their jobs. So a lot of them took their settlement, if you like, their redundancy money, and went, right, okay, I'm going to buy a couple of machines and 40 cassettes, right? And then I'll start doing that. That might put some food on my table. So they were all small businesses back then, tiny little one-man mom and pop operations, and the police were just coming in and completely pissing on their parade. And there's insane sort of stories about some of the raids, because one guy, he basically had nothing which was in any way obscene except for one copy of the film, which was on like V2000 or something like that. A very dead format. This was like a 4 or 5 year old cassette. They went in, found it when it's an illegal title. It's like, well, who am I going to have rented it to? Doesn't matter, you've got it. So they hauled him off to court.
It was David Hamilton Grant. That was the guy. I just looked him up.
Ah, yes.
So David Hamilton Grant was a guy from Nightmares on a Damaged Brain who was, or at least the first guy to be prosecuted for it and do jail time.
Yeah, I mean that is a funny one in some respects, because he did a kind of public publicity event, and they had a brain in a jar, and like a competition of like if you can guess how heavy the brain is, you get prize.
He did. I watched the whole documentary about it. He was involved with the Confessions of a Window Cleaner movies and stuff as well.
Yeah.
He was a pretty prolific producer, but he was all about the money. It wasn't about the art. Shall we say? It was all about. But yeah, that was a great documentary. But David Hamilton Grant, that was who it was.
Yeah. I was thinking of the director's name. But yeah, that's it's kind of a remarkable time, and that's the thing. I mean, I've looked at so much of it, the history, and read a whole bunch of kind of like biographies of people who sort of were involved in the video scenes and all that kind of stuff, and it's remarkable now you look at because it's happened so many times. Even since we had like the 1990s, there was a resurgence of that kind of stuff
with Child's Play and the Jamie Bulger.
Child's Play, yes, the Child's Play kind of thing. It's like there was no evidence that these kids had actually even watched that movie at all once.
You were saying that about Natural Born Killers too, Kerry, that was banned because of Child's Play, or they were nearly banned. Yeah.
So all
because
that
of Jamie Bulger, sorry.
I mean, that's the thing. They didn't want to look at more significant problems, especially when it came to James Bulger, particularly. They were so horrified, understandably so, about kind of this thing that had happened. But they didn't want to kind of go, is this a problem with our society? These families that can exist From what I understand of this is not to apologize for their actions and stuff, but they had a very difficult upbringing. Those kids, they were quite damaged. So instead of going, what caused that to be possible, they went, oh, they watched a movie. That must be it. It's a simple thing, and it's a simple question to ask, but a very difficult thing to answer.
Yeah.
Is what can we do about all of this other stuff? And that, I might add, the situation that not a well-to-do family. The situation that they were in is much more to do with long-standing government policies and things like that. The situation that they were in that generated this thing that eventually created those unfortunate children.
Yeah,
and
wasn't Liverpool a very under funded part of the country at the time? Was it?
It's hard up area. It was Birmingham, wasn't it? If I remember right. So it's not exactly the most well-to-do of cities. And just grab a bit. Come here.
That one for me.
I'm well prepared.
No.
I've got to get some kind of fridge in here now.
I know.
Yeah.
I have ice wine bottle coolers that I put my beers in.
Noted. Right.
Smart.
Wine bottle coolers.
Yeah, but it's often the case that they kind of like they use those kind of things when it comes to censorship and all that sort of stuff. That's the go-to solution. Oh well, it must have been something they watched, rather than it must have been the life that they led.
Yeah,
I often think that they blame video games, they blame movies and all for the stuff that the kids do or that the teenagers do. But at the end of the day, if they're anyway, I think normal people would. Well, not everyone's normal, but I think normal people would differentiate, they'd suspend disbelief kind of thing, so they would enjoy a movie or a video game, and that's not reality, and then they go into the real world and just be as they are. You know what I mean? But then again, that's just most people, I suppose.
No, I agree. I made a video a few weeks back, and I had a clip of Christopher Lee from the 70s, and there's a great interview with him, and someone kind of says to him, what do you think about the violence in your films and what effect it has on other people? Do you think it has an effect on other people? And he says, well, no, because it doesn't affect the mass. It doesn't affect the masses. We know that it doesn't. It might affect an individual, but that's got nothing to do with the film. That's what was there already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you know? And it's because he's such a well-spoken guy and a very, I would class Christopher Lee as a bit of an intellectual, just because of who he is, the amount of languages he spoke, the service to his country he did, and I kind of think he knows what he's talking about. And I really like that he said. He kind of said we know it doesn't affect the masses because we're not running around stabbing each other. It's an outlet for this kind of thing. But it might affect an individual, but it's not the catalyst for that. That's been there already. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, that's the funny thing. All this kind of material, and obviously I've watched the entire Video Nasties and Section 3, plus God knows how many other movies.
I remember me and you talking about Sallow. You turned me on to Sallow on my first movie.
Yeah, which is an incredible film, but not an easy one. It's not one I would recommend. But you sort of sit down. No. The thing was, as a kid, I had terrible nightmares as a kid. To the point that there were times I'd be afraid to close my eyes at night. When I started watching horror in whatever form I did to start with, not explicit horror, but stuff which is a bit more challenging, and then I've watched kind of actual full-on horror films and that sort of stuff, that went away. So there's something, you would think that, if I was that sensitive, I would be freaked out or damaged by that stuff, and it's just not the case. But that's a very kind of like, knee-centric sort of argument. can only really speak from my own point of view in that respect. Is there people, or are there people that could get damaged by that sort of stuff? Yeah, but I tend to think that most kids wouldn't seek out that stuff anyway. Not young kids. They're not interested. Most of it's boring. If you don't understand it, you can't really get the horror of most of it.
I think for me, see, the first, video I saw it in the cinema, and then I bought the the VHS of it, the Train Spotting, and
and
that
immediately after you went up and shot up.
yeah, but I showed it to my dad, and he was like, he's Scottish, and he's could understand the accent better and all that, and he says, I hope you're not going to have some skag in your bedroom and all this. And I'm like, really, Dad? And look, I'm at school. I'm not going to be.
At the time, people did say, "Do you think this is glamorizing drugs?" Didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they did. I remember that being in the papers. Is Train Spotting glamorizing drugs? That was an argument that was about that film.
Which
you could argue the same for Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I totally. It's.
I mean, it's utterly ridiculous when you see the horror of what they go through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like he there's that scene where he dives down the toilet going after the suppository.
It's
it's like that's how low he is. Nobody who's going to look at that and go, I'll have some of that.
It scared me. That bit with the baby crawling across the ceiling. It scared me. It did. I was like,
Glenn,
oh God, it creeped us out. It was scary, I thought.
Would you class, Glenn, I'm just going to ask you there, would you class The Wicker Man as video nasties? No, not really.
No. Although, I mean,
watched that for the first time the other
night,
the old version of it. It's really weird, but it's interesting.
Oh, it's one of my. I think it's a masterpiece. The Wicker Man. Paul Giovanni's score, man. Oh, will you come to the Low Countries?
Yes. Christopher Lee's in that.
Now, go down. I love it, man. It's flipping masterpiece. I think of a movie.
Yeah. I mean, the Wicker Man.
Sorry for singing that song to everybody.
I mean, it was a mainstream film anyway.
Yeah, Christopher Lee. You got
exactly. I mean, it's a studio
Edward
film.
Woodward,
Edward Woodward, Brett Eklund. No, exactly.
But I mean, saying what is a video nasty is a very good question, because I mean that is the question that a lot of the people who are making the laws debating the Video Recordings Act were asking. At least
Well, I remember asking you, Glenn, one of the very first videos. Well, live streams you did, I saw. I was taking part in. Would you consider Eraserhead a video nasty?
I'd say Eraserhead's a midnight movie. That's
exactly
like I'd kind of put that in with Night of the Living Dead and things, and I would watch it at midnight in the cinema, which I did. And
killing the child. That's the way I would have qualified it. But yeah, it's more a midnight movie. It's not more anyway more explicit on.
It's such a surreal film that even as disturbing as it can be for some people,
it's a nightmare.
That scene, I mean, the baby doesn't look like a human being.
No,
at all.
Will we ever know what that baby was? We'll never know
what it was made of.
No, apparently people have said it was a sheep's body. It's
a cow fetus or something.
Cow fetus. Right? There's been all kinds of stuff, hasn't it, said about that?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a very strange film. But I described the baby as literally being kind of a manifestation of his libido.
Well, it looks like the thing from the beginning, the sperm like coming out of the.
Yeah, it's a very sexual film.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets that. Some people say it's a fear of fatherhood, but I'd say it's more a fear.
Well,
the consequences of sex.
I rewatched it recently. I think the baby, the way Henry sees it, it's exactly the way we see his point of view.
Ah, that makes sense,
right?
Aye,
he sees an abomination, so to speak. The child is doesn't want to have the child or whatever, and Mary leaves him and whatever.
And that beautifully comedic scene when she's trying to get the suitcase out from under the bed.
Yeah.
It makes us laugh every time I watch that one. Just like,
I think it's a normal.
So funny.
Baby.
These films are so funny.
Yeah, a normal baby, but Henry sees it as what we see because we see his point of view.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, the whole film is. I mean, See, the funny thing is, it's like that opening sequence is a birth scene, was conception and birth scene.
Yeah.
And the whole film basically centers around his anxieties and desire for sex. The sex for him kind of causes both anxiety and kind of like an urge. So he wants it, but he doesn't want the consequences. It's essentially kind of my take of the film. So the baby is the consequence, and it's this monster that keeps him awake at night.
Do you reckon he dies in the end? Do you reckon that's what the whiteout is, and in heaven everything is fine?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of, in the analysis that I did, I basically, because the baby does look like a dick, essentially. It's kind of what this thing is. It's dick and balls.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, links into his sort of anxieties and about reproduction, the consequence of sex. And he essentially castrates himself, right? So then he gets because he's kind of free of it then.
Yeah.
So he gets to meet the lady in the radiator, who's the kind of consequence-free sort of warm aura around sex, right? And she embraces him, and he's free. He doesn't have to worry about it anymore. Nothing. In heaven, everything is fine.
Right, yeah.
Heaven for him is consequence-free.
No, that sounds great. It does. No,
I mean, that's the most coherent I can get with that. It runs throughout the entire movie. The only part that is tricky, and you have to sort of work quite hard at, is the whole factory scene.
Yeah,
that is so fucking bizarre and out of left field.
I love it. That's my favorite bit, when he's right from his head dropping to Darwin Johnson from Southern Precinct 13 popping up. But it's all.
Don't forget the baby chickens.
I mean, the baby chick. I mean, all that's all comedy to me. I laugh so much at that bit. I love it. I love it how
when he's cutting it moves.
Joe Pilato as well, isn't it? So
just a surrealist comedy that happens in that scene. I love it. I love that part of the film.
Yeah. I find that with a lot of people that love horror movies, that they take so much humor from them, don't they?
Oh well, it's again talking about it being an outlet. I was just watching that Noah Birnbaum interview we did with Brian De Palma last week, and De Palma said, I think it was about sisters. I think I used a clip of it in that video I did about sisters. I think that's why I watched it. And De Palma said the difference between normal people and artists is we've got an outlet for this stuff. This is our nightmares that we're looking at. He's like, I put my nightmares on the screen for you to see, and we're kind of sharing that, Yeah. And our nightmares are funny. You wake up and you laugh. Sometimes you go, oh shit, I'm glad I woke up there,
I'm alive.
I'm alive. Yeah. And I thought that was pretty cool for De Palma to see that, seeing that this is our outlet for our nightmares. This is what we do.
For a debut film, is totally out there,
It's funny though, isn't it? David Lynch. Or getting a little off topic, I guess, but David Lynch with Eraserhead, it's probably the most masculine-centric of his movies, because a lot of his movies lean far more towards female perspective and dealing with female characters and fears and vulnerabilities and that kind of stuff.
Like Mulholland Drive, that's
definitely
Right.
But,
talking about David Lynch, we may have a special guest in a few weeks' time. So,
I remember you mentioned from one of the Lynch shows.
Wow, Lynch, wow. I would say he's a Lynch scholar.
So, that's a fine title to have.
Yeah. So we can ask him all the questions of the day about Lynch and.
I mean, steer clear of the obvious is my only advice. Steer clear of the obvious and ask him about Inland Empire. Make him work.
Well, it was a good
Blue Key mean in Mulholland Drive.
That fucking film. Jesus. Bloody Christ. I had to watch that. I mean, I wrote the analysis of it about 4 times, right? And I got to like page 5 or 6 on each occasion, and the writing just collapses as you're going. So I eventually had to I just went, right, okay, sod it. I'll do it live. Fuck it, I'll do it live.
Man, that's do you know what it is? I just did a video about Day of the Dead, and it's one of my favorite films ever. like ever. I mean, I like Night the best, but Day is the film I've watched probably the most. I think out of Romero's films, I love it, and I put off doing it for so long on the channel because it is a favorite film of mine, and I didn't want to mess it up, the video. So I just said, okay, I'm just going to turn the camera on and talk, and that's what I did. I just turned the camera on and talked about Day of the Dead.
Literally had to do that for Inland Empire.
That's what I tend to do for my videos too, a lot of the time.
Because when I was writing it, I was thinking this isn't good enough to represent Day of the Dead. This isn't how I feel about it. This isn't good enough. And I thought, you know what it is? I'll just talk about it. That's what I did.
From the heart.
I just did it from the heart.
I think for Inland Empire, it is very hard to write anything in put anything down in written form, just because it's so non-linear.
Oh well, I mean, Lynch was saying, wasn't he? There was just ideas he had for scenes. He shot the scenes, put them together, and then made a narrative around the scenes. So even he was finding the story as he was going along for it. He didn't have a full idea in his head when he started making it.
I think the funny thing about that one in particular is that it's one of the few films where he's actually give any kind of explanation for it.
Aye.
And it was 4 words: a woman in trouble.
That was a tagline on the poster, wasn't it? I remember.
Yeah. And that's the thing with that film. That's the one of the most major times that my approach to film criticism kind of paid off in terms of I went, whose point of view is it? And that's the first question you should always ask yourself. From my point of view, is whose story is this? Who's telling this story? And when you find out who it is, it's a little bit of a surprise with that particular movie.
Well, should we do spoilers? Because I think the same. I think the same as you do.
It's the
girl in the room at the beginning flicking
TV
stations. Yep, that she's watching the TV at the beginning.
Yeah,
I thought it was her story.
She barely appears in the film.
Yeah,
barely. She's like in less than 2 minutes of the film, almost.
And a couple of times you see her face superimposed over certain images and things, and it's like, that's a reflection of the TV set, maybe.
You're so attracted to Laura Dern's character, who, in whatever form she takes, that she is the center of attention, and she's not. She's almost like an avatar for the Lost Girls. Stresses
where stars make dreams and dreams make stars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's I love that. I always wondered, because William H. Macy's just in that one scene.
Yes.
And he says that one line, and I was like, that's got to be important. It's like, when I watched it.
There's a few things in it though. It's kind of a weird film in that respect. You've got like the Axon N kind of thing, which recurs. And it's more, I don't know. I've never really sort of nailed down exactly what that was supposed to be. I kind of just got the feeling it was.
I thought it was like stage directions for the character to tell them where to go. You know, like follow this, and you know, like as if it was maybe a script, that Axon N thing. Because every time there's an Axon N, she kind of walks through a door or something. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of got from that.
I mean, I kind of got a whole kind of it's a neural sort of thing. I
thought the
suggestion of that
character was a bit more important, but obviously not.
But a fascinating film nonetheless. A little incoherent, but
there was only one other person I knew at the time. Everybody seemed to not like it, but there was one of my friend's wives. It was like me and her were the only people who liked it and would have like Inland Empire parties. And me and her just have a few beers and sit and watch the full thing.
I had to work to like that fucking film. I really did. I mean, in that times I watched it, and it's like I say, I wrote probably 10,000 words on the damn thing and threw them in the bin.
As we know, I'm a huge George Romero fan, and I really had to work to like Land of the Dead. That was one of the films I really had to work to like, and I've ended up quite liking it now, and I'm still working on Survival.
See, that's the thing with the whole kind of video nasties thing. Those movies and their ilk, so not just the ones on the list, but particularly like with Jess Franco and stuff like that. They're not the sort of film that you're going to happen across and go, my God, this is a masterpiece, with the exception of a couple.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the things of doing all of this kind of stuff I've been doing over the years is I've learned to appreciate films that would otherwise be thrown in the bin.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah. And that's kind of an important skill, I think.
Yeah.
Because even with like mainstream Hollywood films, you can really, when you've got that mindset, when you know what you're looking for, you can really learn to appreciate a film on a completely different level to what everybody else is. And that sounds so up your own arse.
It does, but you're right. It does, but you're right. You are. I mean, you got me into Franco, Glenn. When we first met, I'd only seen the famous ones, you know?
Yeah.
And you really got me into him and said, no, look, John, there's something there. Look, you know, there's this. And you really got me into him. And I mean, to the point where I'm writing about, which I've been for a few months now. I mean, you've talked about it. I'm writing about this one. This is why it's here. Nightmares Come at Night.
Yeah.
I'm in love with this movie.
It's a good film.
I think it's a brilliant film.
And the thing is, the aesthetics of it, because most people, when this is one of the things, it's like so many people are exposed only to these high quality studio films, and unless it's got those attributes of looking good with people that they know who's in it, that hit certain beats, that uses standard cinema techniques that they can recognize and be comfortable with. And there's very little storytelling in so much of that. When you look at something like Jess Franco and you look at like the body of his work, and yes, there is some real absolute bottom of the barrel trash within his collection. The guy made some 200 odd movies. A lot of them weren't his movies. He was like kind of, somebody would ring him up on a Friday and say, get yourself over to Italy for Saturday. You're directing a movie. But like, righto, boss. What's my budget? Fuck all. Who wrote the script? Some wanker in the janitorial department just happened to drop a piece of writing.
I'm gonna pay for your plane ticket, and there's a packet of Wrigley's. But I mean, but there's masterpieces. There is. I mean, like, because obviously, Glenn, you got his into them. I started buying them all. I've got the whole collection now of his stuff, and like Virgin Among the Living Dead, for example. That's a brilliant film. Yeah, it really is. And even though it's is it two films mashed together? Oh, that was Nightmares Come at Night. Sorry, right? That was two films mashed together. But it's superb. When you give yourself over to it, he creates this really eerie world. He puts you inside the headspace of the characters. It's he's great that way. As in, similar to what we were saying actually about Inland Empire, we're looking whose perspective the movie's from. Yeah. He nails it when Nightmares Come at Night and Virgin Among the Living Dead. He puts you in somebody else's head and puts them in their nightmares. The same with She Killed in Ecstasy, I think. It's
that's the thing with what he does and the way that he does those films. Even like when you get something which is quite trashy, like Bloody Moon, you can still tell it's his film.
Oh, I agree.
There's things that he does with the camera. There's that shot of the girl against the moon. And one of those things is Jess Franco. I've always said he really knows how to shoot a woman.
He really. I love that too. There's a few directors have that. I think Dario has that as well. Dario Argento, because his mother was a fashion photographer and she taught him how to shoot properly. I think, and he loves making a woman look beautiful.
But then you got the other end of it with the zoom camera.
well, that's like you see. That's when he had half an hour. That's when he had half an hour to do a wide and a close up. He thought, "Fuck it."
Is that what he borrowed from Umberto Lenzi?
I mean, there's no mistake where there's no like when you got Jess Franco. There's you do realize with a lot of his filmography, even if you hadn't explicitly heard it, that this guy probably did porn.
Oh,
what?
And you know what I mean? And okay, several of the movies, a lot of his movies, there was two different versions of them. So you had like your hardcore
Yeah.
And you had like your standard kind of, or at least watered down version, 99 Women, which is actually one of his better movies.
It is a good film, 99 Women.
Mercedes McCambridge in it, for God's sake.
I bought that box set.
Herbert Lom.
The Jess Franco collection, the DVDs, the black, not leather bound, but like the black bound box set.
Have you seen the French version?
Yes.
How weird is it?
It's similar to what we're seeing. It's more of a dreamscape film. It's like he's gone.
You know the hardcore material in it, though.
Yes.
Right. That's just so bizarre because it's like this car crashed
bit of hardcore porn
within the middle of this movie.
Oh yeah.
So it's like kind of drama, porn, porn, and it just crashes in. And it's a different camera, it's different lighting, it's a different place. The costumes don't match. The actors you've never seen before.
I know, but that's why I like it.
And myself have got our homework now for the next few months. Check out Jess
Franco. It might be very safe homework to do now. I'll say nothing else.
I'm really pleased that I was introduced to the world of Jess Franco. I really am.
It's fascinating.
It is. But it's like I used to have a teacher who said there's diamonds in them there hills, or there's gold nuggets in them there hills.
Yeah.
And that's what's like with Franco. You watch 200 of his films, and there's about 20 that are really, really good. Yeah. There really is. But they're not just good, they're really good.
If for anyone out there who's never experienced Jess Franco, there's two films that I would say are an interesting introduction to his world of two extremes. Bloody Moon would be one, because it is actually a watchable film despite how risible most of it is.
And if you're a horror fan, you'll dig it.
It's funny. It's fun. Just go in and expect to have a fun time, to laugh at the movie, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But try to appreciate, some of the cool shit that's going on as well.
There is a lot of cool shit.
Yeah. The other one would be Venus in Furs, which is his masterpiece. It's just an absolutely beautiful, atmospheric, wonderful film with incredible performances.
Good soundtrack too.
That's how I feel about Nightmares Come at Night. I think it's an atmospheric, beautiful film. I really do. I think that's how I feel about that.
The only thing with that movie now is,
but it wouldn't be a good place to start. Nightmares Come at Night.
Cinema Snob's ex-wife ruined it for me a little bit. She commented.
I know what you're going to say.
She commented on when I posted it, because that was when I was with Geek Juice.
Oh.
And I put review of Nightmares Come at Night, and all she did was she put one word comment beneath it. Mostly.
Okay.
I was just like, as in Newt from Alien.
Yeah.
But so now I hear the title every time. It's like, mostly. Ruined it for me. God damn it.
I thought Eugenie was cool as well. I really like Eugenie.
Eugenie's really fascinating. It's not the most coherent of ones, but it's got a kind of...
It was rushed, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. You know what, Eugenie, man, now, this is the thing, the context of movies does change over time.
And Christopher Lee did not know that he was in that movie.
Well, he says, I didn't know that.
Oh, dear, I would never.
Yeah, bullshit, you were right in the fucking shot.
And he got along really well with Franco because of the bloody judge. They were best.
He did loads of films with him.
He said he really enjoyed working with Franco. He said he was. They did Count Dracula together, right? Which at the time was one of the best adaptations of Count Dracula. And everyone's complaining about the mustache now in Nosferatu. Christopher Lee had a mustache in 1971, and Jess Franco's Dracula.
The Hammer horror ones, was it?
No, this was Franco's. This was the Harry Allen Towers time, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Right?
Yeah. Harry Allen Towers' era of Franco was actually one of the best.
Girl from Rio was a good place to start. I would say that's a good place to start as well.
He had such good equipment, such good crew, and such good actress.
The Technicolor looks beautiful as well, doesn't it? There's some really beautiful looking colors in those
stunning
movies.
Shooting.
Yeah.
Even the early Euro cine was pretty good. So that's the Nightmares Come at Night and all that kind of stuff. That kind of quality. But Euro cine just got worse and worse as it went. You know,
Mm.
the later the Eurocine film, the worse it is. To the point that you can go, it's got Eurocine in the opening credits, like one of the first splash screens that you get on the camera.
The budget's just got less and less and less.
And it's like, it's awful. I mean, the Eurocine were absolutely notorious. I mean, this is the thing. These are the kind of movies that went straight to video.
I've just saw there's a Eurocine box set, in fact, came out not long ago, which I didn't know about. And I was looking at it, but it was really expensive. It was Eurocine X. Is that Eurocine Expo? No, that's something totally different. But there was, but I really wanted to get it.
See, I think Eurocine is still a going thing. But they've got apparently in their vaults is a film that I absolutely have to get my hands on, which is an unreleased Jess Franco film, which was AIDS: The 20th Century Plague. I have to see what the hell Jess Franco did with that. I kind of get the feeling it's his version of the clown, the day the clown cried. I can't imagine what the fuck is in this.
I see what you mean there, like, because he is a pretty deep guy in many respects, isn't he? You know, I mean, like with the jazz and stuff, and
oh yeah, I mean, he's an accomplished jazz musician,
and the fact that a lot of his political views are in his films, and he's a very left wing guy. You know, he's a very hippie minded guy. I think, at least that's what I get from it. I know what you mean. I imagine that it will be a pretty powerful film. Jess Franco doing a movie about him.
But look, it could either be deadly serious and it just went, no, we can't release this, or it's going to be Jess Franco doing something particularly off color.
Well, I watched recently, what do you call it, Macumba, which was a sexual Macumba.
Yeah,
I bought the Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah.
And man, it was a brilliant film. It was obviously more of a pornographic film, but it was a very, very well made Jess Franco film. That Sexual Macumba, I think it was called. I only watched it once, but I really enjoyed it.
There were several films I came across, no pun intended, that you sort of like go, right, okay, I'm going to review this film, and then you suddenly go, I can't actually do this on YouTube
because you can't show any scene.
You could do for it is it's porn. What was it? Passion and Perversion. Right.
Passion and Perversion. That was the late 70s, right? The one about the same time as Blue Rater, and that it was when he was doing those films, wasn't it?
Mondo Erotico is another one, which I managed to find a copy of. Mostly,
I've never seen Mondo Erotica.
No, that's a bit of it's a tough one to get hold of. But that is, that's another one that is pretty much straight down the line porn films. But the only thing you could write about it,
but you couldn't do any clips on YouTube.
That's the thing. You can write about it because in terms of it being a Mondo film of sorts. But I think he was largely kind of just relying on that because when that came out, the whole Mondo scene was relatively big. So yeah, he did his own. Well, what am I going to do? Well, they've got lots of sex in it. I'll put more in.
I don't know if you remember, Glenn, but you got me into the Mondo movies as well. And I think I ended up buying the box set of the three Mondo Carne.
Mondo Carne 1, 2. There'll be Women of the World. There'll be Africa, Blood and Guts.
Yes.
Adio Africa.
Adio Africa. Yep.
Yeah.
And I was a student at the time, and I really liked them because one of the reasons I wanted to study film was because I love the fact that you can mix documentary and fiction together and make something like The French Connection. It's the freaking shot, The French Connection, like a documentary, and it looked great. That's why William Peter Blatty wanted freaking to do The Exorcist, because he knew he had a documentary background, and I wanted to put the two together. So I loved Africa Adio and Mondo Carne, and I thought they were great films because they mix found footage with reality and mixed. I love that about them. And I remember showing one of my lectures, and she was like, "John, what did you just show me?" she was like, "You should not write about these films."
Africa Audio is particularly difficult film.
And also,
just because of the subject matter more than anything.
Yeah, and I mean, there's lots of bodily parts being mutilated.
There's a lot of that. I mean, that's the thing.
Yes.
Not many people are really aware of Mondo.
Yeah, but it was I mean, I've got you to thank for that, and I really do like those films. I do, and I mean, it's not because I'm a pervert or anything. I think they're great films, and the fact that they mix fiction with reality and use it in a way that makes something totally new. You know,
then,
I admire that about them.
As a result of that, Cannibal Holocaust came to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Amongst other things.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, the Mondo films are kind of they're interesting and boring at the same time.
Yeah, I remember not liking the bit in was it Stockholm where the drunken guys are on the street and it just films them for about half an hour, just drunk people smashing their faces into pavement.
That's the thing. I mean, they have no narrative generally. If there is one, it's a very thin connecting tissue, and that's about it.
And it's usually done with the narrator telling you what's going to happen next, or what this scene's about, or what section's about, I should say.
But I did go through a phase of watching an awful lot of them.
that must have been when I met you, because you got me into them.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I did the primer because the second, I think it's the second review I did on the Nasties review was Faces of Death.
Oh, man, that's just a Blu-ray release, a 4K release, in fact.
Do you need that in 4K?
Yeah, definitely not.
I don't know, Ciaran, Kerry, whether or not you've seen Faces of Death.
I skipped school to watch Faces of Death. me and about 5 guys skipped school, got the VHS, went to his house because his mum and dad were at work. A friend called Darren McDermott. Darren McDermott, and we sat and watched Faces of Death at lunchtime when we should have been at school. School time when we should have been at school. Oh my God!
I'm a little horrified by my.
We all loved it.
First time I watched it is I must have been at school still.
I was at school.
Right.
We skipped school to watch it.
We watched it on VHS. My friend had got it.
Yeah.
I went round to his house quite late at night. Got absolutely rat-assed.
Well, we were talking the old talk like when we watched it. I have to say.
Oh, we didn't know. We had no idea what to make of it.
Neither did we. It was like we were just all sitting there going, "What is this?" But we'll love it. Especially the bit with the bloated body in the harbour. Can you remember the?
I did have a conversation with the wife of the director.
No way.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Because for forever, that was one of the video nasties that had a real kind of mystery to it.
Yeah, right.
Because nobody knew who this director was. There's no internet, and it was a pseudonym that was used. And eventually, it's like when I'd watched the film years and years ago. It was an uncomfortable experience, I have to say. Watching this film, it wasn't the most pleasant thing to sit down and watch. You were literally like, what did we just watch? Holy shit! Never seen anything quite like it.
I still think
I went home and slept like a baby. Probably because I was pissed. But
do you think that's what we've been overlooking the whole evening? Is that we're always wasted when we're watching films?
Nah, don't see that.
Yeah. So I did the review, and then I think a couple of years later, the director's wife messaged me. So and we had a little back and forth. He'd seen the review and liked it and all that kind of stuff. Found out that they had their own YouTube channel.
Ah, fantastic!
Which is one of the weird things about being a YouTuber. Occasionally, sort of.
Well, I mean, Glenn, you're so humble about this. I mean, you know Bromley Davenport, and I mean, you've spoke to Davenport, right?
Yeah, a few occasions, yeah.
I know you did a commentary with the Fight for Your Life director.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was down to Newt Wallen.
Right.
He literally, God, Jesus Christ, yeah. So Fight for Your Life. Have either of you seen that?
Yep.
Yeah. So
it's William Sanderson, right? The guy from Blade Runner, the famous actor in it.
yes.
Yeah. Sanderson.
So I'm kind of like prepping to do this thing. I'd kind of planned to do it like about a week before. All right, Fight for Your Life. Yeah, I found a copy on YouTube. And Newt messages me. He says, "Would you like to have the writer on your stream?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, this is short notice, but yeah, we can sort that out." So I spent about he put me in touch with Straw Weissman, who's the writer of the film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, let's get this sorted. So here's my Skype address. And we got on stream about an hour on a call together an hour before we were due to start. He says, "I've got a little surprise for you. Would you like the director to come on as well?" Oh, fuck me.
That's fucking superb, isn't it? And it was great as well.
I'm so prepped for this. Right. So he goes, right, okay, yeah, okay. He's going to have to be on the phone, so I'm going to have to hold the phone up to the mic. And I went, okay, well, we'll do what we can. Bless his heart. He's on the other side of the phone, probably watching the stream at the same time. So this is conversation going on through his phone, through his mic to me. And I'm talking to Straw on the stream. He's got his daughter helping him out with the tech side. I was like, oh my God.
And Newt was there too. Newt was there as well.
Yeah.
5 people in conversation.
So Newt he's had a fair amount of hardships going on with kind of how people have treated him. And he made a mistake a few years ago, which it's all kind of well known. But he is a genuinely interesting, enthusiastic, and quite lovely guy as far as I've experienced. So happy to call him a friend. And he did that. And it's just like, that was one of the most kind of like, oh shit, okay, right, moments that I've ever had.
Well, for me, it was, you spoke to Lieberman, right?
Yeah.
And,
briefly.
And Jeff Lieberman is one of my all-time faves. You know, Blue Sunshine and Just Before Dawn and Satan's Little Helper. I love his Squirm. I love his films. You know, I love them, love them.
Well, that was the Blue Sunshine.
Blue Sunshine, yeah. Did I say Blue in it? Sorry, Blue Sunshine.
Yeah, and he contacted me about that because I'd said something about it being like kind of almost like a conservative nightmare.
Aye.
I says, I don't know, but I kind of get the feeling that he is quite a conservative guy.
I think the film seems like that too. Yes.
So that it's almost like he's kind of taking certain fears that he has about these kind of things and amping them up somewhat. So he's quite a conservative guy. He contacted me. He says, "You're quite right about the film and about me."
Glenn, that's like one of the coolest things in the world, man. That really is. That's really so cool. It really is.
So yeah, I mean, it's been interesting. I have had the opposite as well. I have had the director strike my stuff down before, despite the fact it was a positive review, which is a little disheartening to say the least. And I had to read
names, but a certain Greek director.
Yeah. And it's funny because there was nothing positive said about that movie, as far as I could tell, on the entire internet at the time. I did this film, and I did this review, and I was like, well, I mean, it's actually quite an interesting political take in some.
Oh, Blue Sunshine, definitely. It's
no, I'm talking about Island of Death.
Oh, sorry, right,
Yeah, no.
That's
Blue Sunshine is very political.
Nico Masterakis, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And basically,
Nico Masterakis, am I saying that right?
Yeah. And he was like, you use too much of my stuff. It's illegal. Really?
Sometimes I mean, I love that he did a thriller already called In the Cold of the Night, which I really like. The way that he uses video and film together. But he's strikes me. he's really hit and miss, isn't he? I mean, sometimes he knocks it out of the park, and like then he does something like Hired to Kill, which I love. Brian, the actor Brian, what's his name on that? Yeah, Brian Thompson. I was going to say the bad guy from Cobra. Yeah, Brian Thompson, and he's great in that movie. But
I was going to go with Brian Blessed.
That would have been.
Is this a knife I see before me?
I have a question, though. Glenn, did you take the sword?
Cole work at Ajax to bring back his body.
He's alive!
But Minty's just said that Blue Sunshine. That's an unusual film. That one, it is.
It is. It's a very weird film in some respects, but it's supposed to be. You know, I mean, it's
my kind of weird. I think he was almost having a go at hippies. You know, it's like,
and that's the thing. I mean, I kind of looked at it and I went, it's a very. It does have a very strong feel of a conservative hysteria.
Definitely.
And that's kind of how I sort of approached it. And I wasn't kind of like insulting about conservative kind of ideas.
Oh no, well, it's his
it was just one of those things you sort of point out. But I've had that. You know, you get that a lot with films when it comes to the politics of films and stuff like that. You talk about stuff like feminist attitudes in films. You say a film is kind of a feminist sort of film. And the amount of feedback you get back from you is "fuck you, you lib." Yeah.
What do you know?
Why? Why would you do that? It's not my political position that I'm talking about. It's a political position of the film, and I say it because of X, Y, Z. I think what was it? Human Experiments.
Yeah.
That was another video nasty. Another one that does have a feminist slant to it.
Is that the one that was lumped in with Gestapo's Last Orgy and Experiment Camp and all that?
It might have been, yeah.
Yes, I think I've had a triple bill of those three together.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great film.
It was okay.
It's okay. I mean, as women in prison films go, I mean, they do go really, really, really low for the most point. But 99 Women is actually quite a good one, for instance. But the women in prison films has a tendency to be slap and tickle.
But you know when you see women in prison, the first thing I think of is Prisoner Cell Block H.
Well, some of Jess Franco's sets were a bit like that.
Or for people that aren't into these kind of films, Orange is the New Black is another one.
Yeah, which was I love that show. It was a great show. That was I loved it. Can you remember that 70s show?
Oh yeah.
And the girl from that 70s show was in Orange is the New Black. That's why I watched it, but I really enjoyed Orange.
Well, I don't watch it. I just thought it would be funny to mention that.
It's good.
That's fine.
So it was another film was the one I've mentioned it on a few occasions, which was Cannibal Man.
Oh, Cannibal.
Which is a very gay film. It's basically a closet, being in the closet film.
Is Cannibal Man the Franco Cannibal?
No, it's not Franco. Not a Franco film. No.
What was the Franco Cannibal? I remember buying it from.
There's Cannibals.
Cannibals. I think I bought that from Vipco. I don't know why that popped into my mind there.
Which is
Cannibal.
Terrible. It's the one with Ursula. I can't remember her second name. No, it's basically got this model as the lead lady in it, and she is astonishingly bad. Even Franco himself is like kind of like. We got her because she looked nice, but I really regretted it.
That sounds like a lot of his career, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Wonderland, no?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of casting.
There's very few people that Franco kind of talked badly about.
But there was back in the day, I remember Poundland did a Gore collection, and I remember buying like 3 or 4. Franco's in that years ago. I think that's how I got Cannibals. But sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there, but it just made us think of that. Just Franco's Cannibals.
I mean, it is one of his bad films, but again, it's got a certain amount of it in that you can kind of enjoy, like Devil Hunter.
Oh well, yeah, it's great. It's really
Devil Hunter, incidentally, is one of the most expensive VHS films that I know of.
And it's the guy, right? What's his name? Who turns up with a blonde beard from Zombie Flesh Eaters in the helicopter?
Yeah,
because he's a great actor. What? Do you know who I mean, right?
yeah, I do. His name's gone out of my head, so I'm just gonna.
And they had the helicopter for like 10 minutes for him to shoot the scene.
Don't get anything on the helicopter.
But Franco was just like, yeah, we can get a helicopter for 10 minutes. Let's whack it in.
I mean, that Devil Hunter was one of Jess Franco's pseudonym films as well.
What it was Brown, right? He called
Clifford
it
Brown.
Clifford Brown, yeah.
Yeah.
Clifford Brown.
Al Cliver.
Al Cliver, that's it, man. He's a legend among men.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I kind of like the guy.
Oh, me too. It's like, well, his films I've seen him in, I've always thought he was class. He always looked really cool as well.
But he plays so flat so many times. It's just like it's like watching a sheet of Formica act a lot of the time. Oh no, the zombies are coming towards me. Oh, look, my arm's been chewed off.
I mean, I think it's just because I'm so zombie flesh eaters obsessed.
Yeah.
Even picturing his face and the blonde beard, I just hear bum 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Fulci had some really fruity soundtracks, didn't he?
Oh, I watched it. I keep bringing it up because I watched it last week again. That's why. But man, it was always one of my faves. It was. But he's great, Al Cliver. He is, and I just remembered him turning up at Devil Hunter at the end in the helicopter.
I mean, he looks like. I mean, that's the thing. He's one of those actors that you sort of look at. He's got real screen presence from his.
Yeah, he looks like Nick Nolte. He's got that Nick Nolte kind of young Nick Nolte kind of look, you know.
I think one of the more unusual actors in that sort of role was Beast with a Gun.
Helmet Burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've recently just fallen in love with that movie.
It's a great film.
I've fallen in love with it. I mean, like to the point where I made a video. I've got a channel where I do like music, boneyard music. I recorded a version of the music. I got obsessed with it.
Have you seen it, Kerry?
Yes. Actually,
Yeah.
I suggested it to you first a live stream.
Right, yeah.
And then I actually get to
been so many. That's one I did a Blu-ray extra for.
I know. Well, I got it. It was the German release, right? Yeah. It was. It's a great film, and I watched the making of. I spoke to Josh Hadley. He put us in touch with Josh Hadley about it.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, I remember doing that
from 1201 Beyond.
Yeah,
and he recommended a Eurocrime documentary that I got loads of information from about the film. Not as much as I'd like, but it's hard to find any information about Beast with a Gun.
No, I mean it is one of those things. So the research that they did on that. I mean, my part in that little featurette was me reacting more than anything.
It was a great little a great short documentary on the film. It was really enjoyed watching.
It is on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask, can I find it somewhere to have a look?
I'll look for them.
Yeah. If Kerry can't find it, ask her to remind me, and I'll see if I can find it.
It's definitely. I watched it.
I
watched it about 2 weeks ago, so it's definitely still up online on YouTube. Yeah.
You know what the funny thing about it is I'm so proud of the fact that my section actually looked the best.
In the red cinema seats.
Well, yeah. In my workplace, I lit the auditorium.
It'll be nice one. Thanks. It'd be nice to check out both your stuff. Actually, I've been checking out a bit of John's, but it'd be nice to check out some of your stuff.
Today, I'm actually celebrating a bit with these Star Brahmins because I edited a short film. Do you know Sarah Gibson Yates, Glenn? She works at the university, ERU.
I don't know.
She's a teacher, and she directed a short film called A Little of the Heart, and I edited it and did the score for it, and it just won the best short drama in Brussels World Film.
Oh, congratulations!
Film Festival today.
Nice one.
I was over the moon. I was. It was. But yeah, it was a good little film. About 12 or 15 minutes.
See, the funny thing is, the weirdest thing of everything I've done with as a result of the YouTube stuff is I've had some of my material used for study.
Yeah, well,
not just your stuff, which you mentioned, but actually going into lessons, which is weird. I just sort of go, I talk about shit.
I know, but shit that you like.
I know. That's the weirdest thing. And I did do a video for one of the lecturers at the uni that I work at about music in films. And I had several of the students come up to me. I disagree. Yeah, and
Exactly.
A bit of a warning, disclaimer for anybody who is interested in that featurette that Glenn did. Like, he has hair in it.
yeah, long hair. And
Yeah.
you know, the worst thing about that was I'd spent my entire day on my hands and knees on the stage, filling and sanding the stage.
Sounds like a Jess Franco movie there for a second.
I was absolutely just wrecked by the end of that day's work. So I jumped in the shower to clean up because I was covered in all dust and stuff. Washed my hair, had just enough time for it to dry out before I took the shot. So my hair is really puffy. It went. Oh. I look at it now and go, "Oh my god, why did nobody tell me?"
I know, but also, Glenn, you're on the Mikey release, right, as well?
Yeah.
Yes,
I did a commentary on that one.
Commentary on Mikey, I remember, because I've got a copy of that in here somewhere.
I don't know when, if it's come out or whatever.
I
bought
one on eBay.
I bought it on eBay too for the German release. Yeah.
Be back in a few minutes there, guys.
Okay.
No worries.
Last one I did was for a film called Island of the Bloody Plantation.
Is that the John Amplis one?
No.
No. Sorry.
No, this is basically a women in prison film.
I've never seen this one.
It's actually kind of interesting and a bit weird. But yeah,
sounds like I'll really enjoy it.
Yeah,
yes.
I assume it's come out at this point. I did it quite a while back, but I never got my copy.
I'll make a note. Island of the Bloody Plantation. Because I want to see that, definitely. But right, Glenn, you're always so humble, mate. You are about the stuff you've done. You've done so much amazing stuff, and you've met so many amazing people. It's crazy. Island of
Bloody... I mean, the thing is, it's a hobby. I've never earned a penny out of this.
No.
And that's, I think, in some respects, that's kind of how I like it.
Mm.
I don't want to become one of those guys. It's like kind of like dependent on the contacts and all that kind of stuff. And I've got to keep the audience happy now. It's like you take it or leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of integrity.
On that note, I'm just going to grab another beer. I'll be 2 seconds.
Okay, doggy.
Because my integrity might slip after this one. So
when you come back, I sure have to do the same. But Kerry and I will hold the fort.
Yes. Oh dear.
So, Kerry, what was the first video nasty that you watched?
Well, the first video, Driller Killer, officially.
Driller Killer.
Yeah, officially, yeah.
It's definitely one of the more interesting ones in some respects. Thing is, I mean, I always kind of thought, yeah, hello, Adam. Yeah, I kind of Driller Killer. I class as an art house film. Funny enough, as grimy and grindhousey as it is a film with quite high level sensibilities in some respects.
Yeah, it's very got the punk aesthetic, but it's also got a bit of heart to it. Yeah,
I mean, one of the things I kind of loved about it was, oddly enough, the soundtrack, which is quite grating and in many respects, most people go, it's kind of cacophonous.
Yeah.
But there's something about it, the way it ties into the character, which is fascinating to me.
You see, I also watched Evil Dead, but that was long before even knew what Nasties were. So,
yeah.
You know.
I mean, the Evil Dead is... That's a funny one, was the Evil Dead. When it came to, like, James Furman, who was, in charge of the BBFC back at that point.
Failed filmmaker himself, by the way.
Yeah, he was not a very good director, but apparently, but he did some TV stuff, didn't he?
Aye.
Him and one of the other examiners really liked the film. They were all willing to go, 18, maybe some minor cuts, but it was one female examiner who kind of took exception to the
Tree
rape.
scene. Oh,
Tree scene, yeah.
That scene kind of.
Sorry, that was the un-PC movement I did there. The tree scene.
Tree scene. Save the trees, not this one.
You see Swampy tied to one of the trees. No, stop it.
You have no idea. There's a reason why we call it the Epstein Conker tree.
I always thought it was actually.
It's a fantastic scene, isn't it? The way it's put together. Raimi did it. It's really flipping. I mean,
the scene in the cabin one, when to close the trap door.
Yeah,
I always thought it was that one.
I was always I love Armies of Darkness. That was always one of my favorites. But the first one, must have been one of the first video nasties that I ever saw. Zombie Flesh Eaters and Evil Dead.
Yeah,
because it had on the video that it was a pre-cert video that I saw of Evil Dead, so it had the 18 kind of stick it on it. You used to get the 18 stick it on them.
Yeah,
I mean, like Halloween. I remember collecting the Halloween series, and Halloween 1, 2, and 3 all had the 18 certificates. Like stick it on them.
As an aside, you know that those things have been through the post, gone to Soho Square, and got posted back to where they came from.
That's great.
That's one bit of their life that they actually had to go into the offices of the BBFC.
I wish I kept them. There's so many I haven't got.
I got a copy, Evil Speak. Right, I've got 2 copies.
Cool.
Back in about 1990, 89, 90, I picked up a copy of Evil Speak, and it was the censored version, and it says on the front, edited to conform with the video recording set 1984. It's printed on there. And that was basically to stop the police sort of wandering in and go, that's a video nasty, right? I got rid of that at one point when I moved to go to university, right? I lost a lot of videos at that point because it was like,
me too. I couldn't bring them with us. It was the same when I moved to Cambridge. I couldn't bring my videos with us.
So I kind of did that. And then eventually, like about 7, 8 years ago, I kind of went, see if it's still around, because I had a pre-cert copy as well by that point, and I found, deliberately went out and looked for a gimped version of that film, and if you've ever seen the edited version, it is annihilated.
Yeah, it is. It's totally
absolutely butchered. It's the amount that is.
I've seen Evil Speak.
Oh, it's
I wouldn't have known the difference.
Clint Howard, right, Glenn? Clint Howard.
Yeah. You would know that it's cut even if you hadn't.
It's like
been told.
It's like in the middle of a scene, it'll just jump cut to somebody outside. It's that bad. It really is.
The final scene, which is it's absolute carnage in the
with the
full version.
it's brilliant. That final
in the cut version, it's almost over before it's begun.
It is. It literally cuts them standing at the steps outside. If I remember, like in the middle of all that.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It is how good it was. But Evil Speak's a great film. I really enjoy that movie.
Yeah, it's a good film. But I kind of went to the extent of actually sort of going out and buying the gimped version because I went, actually, it's kind of a curiosity. Especially for someone like me who's got an interest in that kind of stuff.
Well, I've got the old Day of the Dead behind us there. I'll grab it. That I used to watch I think it's Millennium Films. So this was the one that I watched all those years. I just put it in the video I did about them. Is it Millennium Films?
Is that a big box?
Big box. So it's media releasing, but I've had this since I was a kid. This is the one I always.
That's what I had, except my copy had a sort of burgundy plastic case.
So that one's cut. It's media releasing. It is. I thought it was Millennium. It's not. It's media.
You know what? When I first saw that film in the video store, and I realised it was like the sequel to Dawn of the Dead, and we couldn't get Dawn of the Dead at the time, I was so keen to see that film.
Oh, man, it's like holding history for me.
Yeah.
Like it's. I mean, it's one that. I mean, like I said, I just made a video about it, and I say in the video, it's not just a film that I admire because it's good. It's been part of my life, you know. It was a film that got me into films. Then I used it to study films. I then used it in teaching when I was teaching film studies. You know, it's like it's such a huge part of my life. Oh man, look,
You never get tired talking about your passions, don't you? Not.
you've even got the look at that cool thing, man.
Sorry.
You've got the entertainment video logo inside the case. I mean, this is the one I bought from the video store because I watched it so many times.
Wow.
The guy said, "Do you want to buy it?" You know, because you're watching it all the time. You know, it's like, and I said, "Yes, please." And he gave us it for so cheap, like $5 or something. He was really good. It was that guy.
Wow.
He was called Joe, the local guy in the store. But I bought so many movies from him. But he was, but he was the guy that was so good to us. He would reach up and get Evil Dead for us and give it to us and say, "Yeah, just bring it back tomorrow. That's $150, please, kid." You know,
that's one thing I miss about video rental stores is going out for a night on the lash.
Gorgeous, though, isn't it? Gorgeous.
And then ending up in the video store before it closed. And then
Like
just buying
11
a whole bunch of X rentals. Although you can tell how absolutely rat-assed out of my mind I was one time when I bought Goldfish.
Oh dear. Notoriously great movie.
Yeah, and not the one that most people will think of. There is a,
No,
I think there's like, what is it? Is it? I don't know where it comes from. It's like an Asian film called Goldfish.
yeah, there is. Yeah, right.
But this is not that. This is a low-budget, independent British film.
Yeah, there's a certain thespian that's in it, isn't there?
Oh yeah,
I forget his name now, to be honest with you.
Christopher Biggins is in it.
That's him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he has a very small part in that.
But
He's
he's in it.
literally the best part of that film is Christopher Biggins in his about 10-second cameo.
In
The
fact,
rest of it,
I'm sure that I heard you guys talk about that on Glenn's stream,
yeah.
and I went and bought it.
Oh dear.
I got a DVD of it, I'm sure, off Amazon.
Yeah, I think it only came on DVD. I think it was post VHS. But it is solidly the worst film I've ever watched in my life.
It wasn't very good. but I had to say it because I heard you talking about it.
Oh no! I mean, if just one bit in particular where he kind of like he gets confronted in like a nightclub or something like that, and then he runs off, and there's this brief, very awkward-looking chase scene, and he rounds a corner, bumps into somebody. The person that's chasing him just disappears; is not there anymore.
Movie magic.
Hey, Collector Adam. Hey, Kerry John Ciaran. Long time no see, Glenn. Hope all four of you doing well. Great seeing you. Co-host Glenn, I'm very late to the stream. We'll watch back what I've missed. Well, you're very welcome, Adam. It's been amazing so far.
I will be back in a couple of moments.
Grab your beer. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, man. But I was Adam. But yeah, we've been through everything, haven't we? We've been through Tarantino. We've been through. We spoke about
Tarantino, Stone, Franco.
We've been through the history of everything.
More to come.
So we'll have
You
to
have to put a certified rating on the restream. Some of the
I will have spoken about some far out stuff tonight. Like,
shall we rate it AA for content?
We've spoke about foot fetishes, definitely.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, true.
Rated R superstar.
Well, I was looking for because obviously we're talking about Hogan.
I was looking at the breaking news. Did you hear about the situation there?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
What happened?
Ciaran?
What happened here?
Well, apparently Hulk Hogan's wife, who he married a couple of years ago, was involved with Scientology a while back.
Right.
And apparently she said she left Scientology, but they're still kind of in cahoots with each other, her and Scientology. Apparently Hogan might have been coerced into, giving everything or a lot of his properties to her, and then Scientology were going to make sure that a lot of the wealth from Hogan would go to them. So they reckon now that somebody has actually, there would be negligence, or somebody has killed him in the hospital. That's what apparently they're saying.
Crazy. Like, I mean, it was said that some of the properties already signed over to Scientology. so that his wife might have. I mean, this is all kind of hazy at the minute, and it's like this isn't sourced stuff, but either some of the properties in that might have been signed over to Scientology already. It's crazy. It is.
Yeah, big time. It'll be interesting to see how it all kind of works out because they say his daughter Brooke Hogan is actually investigating it all and hoping to get an autopsy done.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I love Brooke Hogan. I used to watch Brooke Hogan's show when she did the reality show.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great show. We're just talking about Hulk Hogan, Glenn, and all that Scientology stuff that's been mentioned. Crazy.
Did Scientologists kill him?
Well, that's what there might be some crazy stuff going on, but
I knew when he got married to your one Sky that something was up, like because she wasn't going to be marrying him for his good looks at that stage of his life, anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, like he was still a handsome chap.
He was still like, he was still,
I mean, he was a bit like me.
Guy
he had that weird black dye job going on, a bit like what I've got. when he had the blonde tash and the jet black beard.
Well, that was from his days in WCW. That was him just getting back to the old days, I suppose.
But it made us think about it because I've got the same video cassette, the white box, the white hard box, the big box of Suburban Commando.
Oh,
and I was looking for it. I don't know where it is, but I've got it somewhere. and it made us. I've been in the loft and everywhere looking for it after Hogan died because I've got that big box VHS somewhere. I just kind of find it out. I was even speaking to my dad. I rang him up and I was like, "Dad, can you have a look in the loft?" He was like, "I can't." He's like, "I can't get in the loft anymore." I was like,
yeah, I've got one on DVD and on video called Body Slam. Did you ever see that? The Dirk Benedict one from '86.
Dirk Benedict. Well, like I say, we've talked about him before. I was a big Hogan fan, like huge.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
How did we get from Jess Franco to Hulk Hogan?
Glenn, you know what I'm like. That was just me being weird because this had the white video box and it reminded us of Suburban Commando.
Yeah.
that's all that was.
Segway City.
That's what happens.
But I wish I had them though. There was I actually had that is worth a lot now, and I wish I kept it. Was the Apocalypse Now? They released Apocalypse Now on VHS without titles. The original cut didn't have titles at the beginning and didn't have titles at the end. It just began with the bombs going off in the trees.
Classic film, yeah.
And ended with the kind of pan over to the jungle with the statue. No credits, no opening and closing credits. Got released in not very many copies on VHS of that original version, and I had it, the Zoetrope Studios video, and I lost it. I don't know where it went. I guess just lost in translation when I was moving or whatever, or selling videos and trading things in. But man, there's so many VHS that I wish I still had. There really is.
Same here, actually. I love the VHS collection from years ago, and still have a lot of them, but I don't have enough of them.
Me too. I've got a couple. I framed a couple. I've got Walter Hills. I framed a lot of Walter Hills videos. I might have shown. I don't know. I keep getting stuff from. I can't keep bringing stuff over from the shelf.
Fine.
But I've got a video framed over there. I've got loads of VHS framed back there. Walter Hill stuff. That's blue one there above us is Hijack. That's Plan 9 from Outer Space. There's like the dark half there. I've got loads of videos.
I love the way that John intrinsically knows where they are. So it's over that way.
Welcome to the boneyard.
But the amount of times on my streams, I've kind of like gone, "Oh yeah, I've got that one," and I've sort of like quickly looked through about 400 DVDs.
I have this idea that in the future, down the line, like I want to convert one of the rooms in my house into like an old Blockbusters, like with the videos up.
Dream, wouldn't it? I'd love that.
Be cool, just like you walk into the room and you're in Blockbusters.
Come here, let me introduce you to a friend of mine who might give you some ideas.
I mean, coming back to Tarantino, he bought the whole Video Archives collection, the shop that he used to work in with Roger Avery. He bought the whole store. He bought all their stock, and he's got all the videos from the video store that he used to work in.
Wow.
I mean that's like a dream, isn't it? Be like one of us buying the shop that we used to, rent our videos from.
Well, this is only a rental edition of a movie, but on Amazon it's €200.
Which one's that?
Oh, wow.
That's €200 on Amazon.
Death to Smoochie.
Yeah.
Jeepers. That's hard
That's
to
a
believe.
rental copy of it.
That's a
Jeez.
budget. That's a budget of my last movie.
Lovely silver disc.
See, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like you make movies, John, and it's like these days when so the big studios make a film. It's like money is no object. Anything that they want, they'll do.
Yeah.
If they can't physically do it, they'll do it with CG.
Yeah.
And I miss the days where they had to challenge themselves to think their ways around the problems.
Me too, man. I mean, it's. I mean, could you remember? I don't know if you remember when I was making my first proper film with any kind of budget, which was like 250 quid. I came to you and asked you about the lighting, and I wanted it to look like Inferno. Can you remember? And you came and helped us with the gels and stuff and setting the lights up. It was for the Freedom Room. The film was called. And it was the first film I ever made with any kind of budget, but I could afford to get some gels and stuff. And it was the university's lights that I think we were using, like 2 keys.
I think you borrowed some kit and a few gels and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. But I mean,
that's the thing. The reason I'm called Lampy Man, for those who don't know, is because I'm a lighting designer / technician. That's what I do for a living. So, when John was looking at lighting and stuff like that, he came to me to ask a few questions.
Well, it was my first time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've made short films before, but I'd never had lights and gels and sets and things to light. And Glenn came along, and you remember you helped us. Me and you stood in the set, and we were saying we could put a light here, we could put a light here, and it was such a great time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's always fun doing that kind of stuff. I'm not a film and TV lighter lighting guy, but it's kind of transferable skills to some degree.
Well, I mean, with Argento, his stuff looks very theatrical, doesn't it? I mean, I mean, everything that we've learned in theater, I've got like a little blue light over there, for a top light and things. But Argento did it. I mean, I love Inferno. I know we spoke about it before.
Yeah, I mean, I really do. I mean, a lot of people kind of brag on that film. But there's still a lot of really interesting, fun stuff goes on in that.
But the warm, the cools and the cools and the warms that he mixes in it with the blues and the kind of rose tinted gels that he uses. It's a beautiful theatrical look to the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, I love the kind of tech talk about Suspiria, the way they lit Suspiria.
Yeah,
because the film that they used was called they used a 3-strip technique, which basically meant that the colors were separated.
Yeah,
and
so
then they added together.
RGB.
Yeah, so they could control with absolute with as much scope as they wanted, the intensity and the saturation of all the color. Because what a lot of people don't necessarily know is that you light a set in red, it's tricky. Cameras do not like red.
Well, especially if you've got a dark-skinned actor, or you have to do highlights and things, and I mean it's a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it, to light even different skin tones?
Yeah, I mean because red's such a narrow wavelength.
Yep.
It basically washes everything out, so you get a lot less depth. Everything becomes a lot flatter because there's just not that much scope of the light. You get to the blues, there's a bit more. Greens is there's more, but the red is such a narrow section of the light that everything just flattens off. And you can get that on stage as well. If you light everything in red, everything just what was 3D just becomes like 1D. It's very, very flat and uninteresting. But what they did with Suspiria to get those really heavy colors, because if you'd seen it in real life, it would look very different. It probably looked more orange than it did red. So you can get the subtleties and the changes of the shadows and all that kind of stuff would sort of work. But when it comes to the final product, because they could control the saturation of everything, it was much more full. The picture was much more full, had much more depth, much more detail.
It's an incredible looking film.
I mean, it really is.
I mean, when he shifted to digital, he really lost that, didn't he? He lost that kind of the filmic color feel that he had. He lost that when he went to. I mean, in my opinion, he got a little bit of a back. I think we've discussed this before, but I love dark glasses. And I think he brought a little bit of a back in dark glasses, but and he kind of found his footing with digital technology and modern filmmaking, which he kind of lost for me for well over a decade. But I mean, even in stuff like Dracula, the card player, or even especially in when he tried to do the yellow skin tone in. One with Emmanuel Signier, the Giallo. He called it Giallo. He tried to do the yellow skin tone on the bad guy. It just didn't work at all.
Yeah.
But his colors, if he'd done that in 77, probably would have worked.
I mean, that's one of the things, because I liked a lot of theatre in particular. It's a real challenge when you've got different skin tone. If you've got a dark skin actor and light skin actors on the stage at the same time, it is a huge contrast. It's really difficult to light.
I know it is, isn't it? A scene. I did a film with an African American actor and a Japanese girl, and trying to match we had to give them each their own key light because of the difference in skin tone.
Yeah, now that's the advantage of doing it on film.
And it was difficult for a low budget film because we were on location and I had people holding lights.
Yeah,
literally holding lights.
Natural light. I mean.
Yeah, so this was in natural light, but I had 2 key lights with us, which were handheld lights. So like battery powered lights, so that it would.
Yeah. So I kind of mean like a la Kubrick when Barry Lyndon.
Yeah. So so he kind of replaced natural light with was it 60? He had like 60K lights for The Shining and stuff. Right? those big lights coming through the windows.
I mean, with film, you're talking about. I mean, crikey, we're getting into film technicalities here, but
well, we started at Tarantino, and now we're in the nitty gritty.
talking 5K lanterns, right? So 5,000 watt lanterns, and more on a professional soundstage. But in my theatre work, we've had a few 5K TV lights come in. I mean, they come with like socking great big C-form connectors and all this kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, they've got their own flight case, some of them.
Yeah. You have your own distros for those damn things.
Right. Huge. It's like one technician, one light.
Yeah. But obviously with the stage, you like 2 different people with very different skin tones. It's you can't pick and choose, so you have to try to find a happy medium.
Yeah,
which is always a little frustrating.
So as opposed to a very morose extra large or something. Sorry, bad joke. I know.
No, that wasn't a bad joke.
It was. It was. No, I just said good night to Lexi there. She's away to bed. So.
Okay. Good night, Lexi.
Good night, Lexi.
Night, Lexi.
But
Lexi released a great song there. She put it up online there today. Very, very good. If you're watching this, well done, Lexi.
Yeah, she called it "Sell Me." So it's one of her songs from a new album she's done. So
cool,
neat.
So it's kind of like somebody said it's kind of like Ed Sheeran. So that kind of style. So.
Can I give a wee plug here for a book, Kerry, for our mutual friend David Harkin and Derry Filmmaking. His book, How James Bond Saved My Life, is one I got recently. He brought it out last year, and it's all about his growing up. He wasn't verbal as a child up until he was about 10, and he got speech therapy and stuff, and he found that watching Bond and other characters like Batman and different fictional characters helped him come out of himself. And he was, it's all about his upbringing and about his love of film and different film characters and genres, how it helped him come out of himself,
Oh, fantastic.
It's amazing, isn't it, how film affects different people. I mean, it's like I said earlier with me as a kid being kind of, essentially night terrors, really. Terrible nightmares as a child. The films kind of helped excise that from me. Give me a much more peaceful look on the world.
I mean, like on a really, I guess it's the same kind of level. You might notice sometimes I stutter, but not like very noticeable. But sometimes I do. I had a terrible stutter when I was a kid, like terrible. And the doctor suggested that my mum and dad put us into drama classes because I'd have to remember the words to a play, so then I wouldn't have to think about what words were coming out of my mouth. I would know the words because I'd studied them to be in the play. And that really helped us get over my stutter. And it wasn't what got us into films. I was already loving Terminator and RoboCop and Night of the Living Dead and stuff, but that was kind of why they pushed us into it. And it really helped. So
Wow.
On a different kind of level, it helped me get over a stutter because I was remembering dialogue and remembering scripts. Yeah. I mean, it was really embarrassing. I played like a tree in The Wizard of Oz, and I did like, we represent the lollipop, like little silly kids plays, But it really helped us get over a stutter that I had, like memorizing the stuff. But my mum and dad pushed us into that because the doctor said, "What's he interested in?" And I said, "I'm interested in movies." And he said, "Well, get him to act out some stuff. It might help." And it did. It really helped us get over it on a different kind of level.
That's really good. Like I was, myself, I was afraid, because my mum and dad smoked.
Oh, yeah.
I was afraid the house would burn down. Every single time, every time, I would leave the house, like going to school, whatever, I'd pray that, the house wouldn't burn down.
And my mother's probably not watching this, but I used to steal my mother's Regal king-size cigarettes when I was a kid and smoke them.
I'd say you weren't the only one.
I mean, there's no way in the world she's going to be watching this, but...
Well, if she ever pulled you up, you could just say, "I was watching your health."
Yes.
I was saving you from yourself.
That's actually
I'm younger and advantage.
I smoked myself too, but I didn't, my mum and dad smoked Major. My mum smoked Benson Hedges, then Silk of Purple.
Oh, Benson Hedges was strong, man.
So I went
really strong.
I went to extreme. I went to Marlboro Red.
Oh man, that's extreme.
Yeah. I went to extreme.
Did you guys as well used to sneak into the living room when everybody else was asleep to watch movies?
I did that, yeah.
Because my first TV was a black and white, like portable one I had in my bedroom, but I didn't even have a video player. In fact, I didn't get a video player until I was must have been a teenage. But I would sneak downstairs to watch films at night, and it was usually like the Hammer horror ones that were on at like 4 o'clock in the morning, on British television. Man, I've got such fond memories of that, like falling asleep in school the next day because I've been watching Curse of Frankenstein or whatever, at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And my teacher was like, "What are you doing?" "Curse of Frankenstein." "What?" "Sorry." I love that.
On
such great memories of that, sneaking downstairs.
In the 90s. Don't know if you remember it, Ciaran, but it was on a Friday and Saturday night called The End.
Right.
Friday night did show a cult movie.
Right.
And then Saturday night did show something like The Fall and Rise of Reggie Perrin, classic British sitcoms and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. I remember them showing stuff late at night, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Movie me on BBC Two, Movie Drone.
Yes.
Alex Cox.
Yeah. Cox did it, then Cousins, then
Mark Cousins, yeah.
And man, I saw stuff like Walkabout or The Big Knife or Cox is so cool, man. I've read a couple of his books, and I think.
Have you seen him lately? He did an interview there with BFI.
Oh, yeah.
He's aged so much.
Look, I'm living in London at the minute, and they're doing a Movie Drone retrospective here at I think it's the Barbican. Pardon me. So they're showing the introductions that they did. I'm gonna go. I'm definitely going to go. But I mean, I remember him showing Dawn of the Dead, Glenn, for example. I remember Cox showing Dawn of the Dead and saying this is a great movie, everybody. And he actually interviewed Romero at the beginning of Movie Drone to talk about Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
There was so many cool ones. But Movie Drone was a big one for me. Cox.
Kolchak didn't, or has he just talked about it?
Sorry, what was that, Kerry?
They showed Kolchak, didn't they? The Night Stalker.
Wasn't that Night Train?
It might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like Richard O'Brien.
Yes.
Hosted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he
Yeah.
did. Didn't they do like Mystery Science Theatre as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember coming home, mate, after a late shift in Loughborough. Went back to home, and I used to own the film Squirm on video. Right, and it had a really unusual. I wish that's one I really regret getting rid of, was losing that, because that was a rare
Well,
VHS.
I mean, Squirm even on Blu-ray now. Arrow released a Blu-ray not too
Yeah.
long ago, and that's even really expensive now. It's you know,
Gee.
I don't know who's picked the rights up for it, but no
Oh,
one
I
seems
don't
to be
know.
releasing it.
But yeah, I got in late, and I was like, "Oh, Squirm, okay, I'll sit down and watch it." And there's like all these people rabbiting over the top of it. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" Shut up!
Movie
I
ruined.
don't watch a movie. And
Carrie,
no idea.
Carrie,
Yeah.
I was just thinking there. Me and you should head over to London. We can do a live version of all of us together doing a show with London as the backdrop. You know.
Right.
Oh,
Well, I'm going to Birmingham in
Sometime.
October, so for a few days. So
Oh, very good.
We'll all go down to the Barbican.
yeah,
Or get a stage.
not in London prices though.
Oh, man.
Not 30 quid.
I mean, £8 a pint. What the hell is that about?
I know.
Dublin's probably near enough the same.
Right, it's €10, I think. In
I'm
Temple Bar.
surprised there's not riots in Dublin for that. To
Well,
be honest with you.
Temple Bar is notorious for being tourist traps,
Oh yeah.
so it's it's more expensive there. But if you go to a kind of a snug, it's probably like €4.50 or something, €5.
Yeah.
So
Much better.
it is better.
We'll have to make
The national average is
a
€4.50.
right-wing conservative movie called Green Cans.
Is that the environmentalists?
Where the blue sunshine? We'll do a right-wing conservative.
Red Sun?
Green.
Hey, look, I can do the blue sunshine thing.
Oh, flipping,
Speaking of which, I have Red Sun over there somewhere. The Charles Bronson Western. You did?
Oh, Red Sun with Toshiro Mifune.
Mifune, yeah.
Directed by Terrence Young. That's a great
Yes,
movie,
that's it, yeah.
yes. I love Red Sun. I'm a big Bronson fan. That comes from my mother. My mother really fancied Charles Bronson. So she used to watch Bronson movies all the time.
Minty says that Dublin's more expensive than London, or becoming more expensive than London.
Yes,
Certain
it
parts
is.
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. It might become cheaper because all the Yanks ain't going to be travelling so much these days.
Well,
Nah,
yeah,
no. And they're not going to be
That's
making films anymore. That's crazy. About how he wants people to make films in the United States now.
Yeah.
So he's going to tax people who make films outside of the United States if they're American industries.
Oh, I don't know. The sooner he's out of office, the better. Maybe.
Just look forward to the return of the Western.
Oh, yeah.
It's all we're going to get now.
Can we expect Sergio Leone to come back as a zombie and direct one? That'd be mad.
Speaking of that, I actually recently bought a Blu-ray of Lucio Fulci and Cat in the Brain. And I'd never upgraded that to Blu-ray. This is the first time. And man, it was absolutely fantastic. It was the 88 films released that Cat in the Brain.
Cool.
Man, that guy is insane. But he's a great actor as well, Fulci. I really enjoyed watching it again. I really had a good time with it. I had a few beers and just sat and watched it, and he's totally insane in that film. but it comes back to, I don't know. I remember us talking about, it might have been Kerry and Glenn. Did we talk about New York Ripper? Because everyone was calling it misogynist.
Oh, no, I don't know.
I've called it misogynist.
Oh, so it was me and you then.
Yeah.
I remember talking about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But Cat in the Brain might have had a little bit of misogyny there as well.
Lucio Fulci was kind of known for it. That's the thing. It's like, that's another example of one of those films that I've commented on and said it is this or that or the other, and people sort of take offense at that, and you go, no, it literally is. It's a film taken from the point of view, largely, well, 2 points of view. You've got the detective and you've got the killer. And when it goes into the kill scenes, it is very gender specific about the violence.
Yeah.
So there is a kind of streak of that within it, and it's deliberate. It's not.
Well, that's why I brought it up. Speaking
Yeah.
about Fulci, I think it might be, because it might be there. But it also has the worst red herring in film history. Literally, the screen turns red when he turns around. I love that. But it was like, but I've been watching a lot of his films again. Anyway, Fulci. That's why I brought him up a couple of times tonight. I just watched Flesh Eaters again. I've watched The Beyond. I've been watching loads of Fulci lately again.
I always love Catriona Call's commentaries.
Yeah, she's cool, isn't she?
Yeah, because she's literally one of the only women in his regular cast that could actually handle him.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a bastard.
I'm not saying what I'm thinking. I'm not saying what I'm going to think of what I'm thinking. This.
I mean, he was well known for being a bit of a screamer and tantrum thrower and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when he was good, he was really good.
Oh, I love Don't Torture Duckling. I flipping love that movie. I think there's a little bit of misogyny in there as well. Like with the kid approaching the girl who's naked on the sunbed.
That much more likely.
But I've been watching. I've been up because now they're starting to do Fulci on 4K. The DVD, the Blu-rays have kind of come down in price, so I've been upgrading a lot of my Fulci DVDs to Blu-ray because the Blu-rays are getting cheaper. So I've been watching loads.
Well, I bought The Beyond there on Shameless.
Oh, it's a masterpiece, isn't it? The Beyond.
Yes, beautiful.
That's a beautiful film,
There's that utterly nihilistic end to it.
One of the most nihilistic endings of all time. The blind.
We're in hell and we're blind. It's like, oh shit.
But that bit in the, I think it was, do you know what it is? I'm sure we've talked about this before because it's just a flashback, but he's trying to load the gun in the lift. And he doesn't know how to load a gun. He's putting the bullets in the barrel of the gun, the actor.
See, that's the thing, isn't it? I think moments like that, because Fulci's another one of those guys that does what I like to call the dream aesthetic. So there's a lot of illogical things go on within his movies. It's not the sort of film that benefits from you going, oh wow, a real person who has gun knowledge would not do that. It doesn't work like that. It's like Argento's films have a lot of the same kind of properties.
I think Nightmare City too. I did a video not long ago, Glenn. What did I call it? When movies abandon reality, and I talked about how movies like, specifically like stated Nightmare City, because it's a nightmare. You kind of forgive the fact that all that kind of crap happens in the film.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I don't like about that film is it goes, it was all a dream, or was it, kind of thing. It's like, oh, come on.
I did actually mention that in the video that, and then the nightmare becomes reality. It was I know why.
That bit cheesed me the fuck.
It is. It's like,
speaking of nightmares become reality, what about this? What's your opinions as use our creative minds? If you ask normal people about this, they probably would look at you like you have two heads. But because you guys are open to all this idea, what's your idea? What's your thoughts on the 3-eye atlas thing that's coming towards Earth?
I don't know what. Can you tell us about it? I'm not sure. I know.
Alien spaceship apparently hovering over.
It's like a 7-mile long and 7-mile wide, like alien. They're saying it could be an alien spaceship. There's different scientists saying it could be. I don't know
about this.
It's coming in late October apparently.
Yeah, it's like traveling 130,000 miles per hour or something like that.
Do you reckon Carl Sagan's going to jump out and say, "Hey,
I was right.
I told you I was right." No, that's really.
It's when they turn up with Voyager. There's the gold disc, and you go, I think you lost this.
Maybe it's Maybe it's to do with the Project Bluebeam thing that the conspiracy theorists talk about.
I'm a UFO guy. I'll have to check.
Look as well.
I'll have to check into it. But Kieran, I don't know enough about it to comment. Actually, I'll have to
check it out. It's actually interesting,
No, I'm into all that stuff. I love Stephen Greer and all that, and I'm into all that kind of stuff. But it was that's interesting.
I've not heard anything about that.
I mean, I
so I can't really comment on it. But
it's all over mainstream media now too.
What is it?
I've been drinking too much Star Prom in the car, I think.
What is it again, Kieran?
It's
Well, put it
called.
this
They're
way.
calling it three eye
Sponsored by
atlas.
Star Prom.
Three-eyed.
Atlas. Yeah.
Oh man, I remember the black blade that everyone saw. Remember the black blade
Oh yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
saw above the earth? I remember that one coming in, but that was in the atmosphere. But no, I'm interested in all this stuff, Ciaran. I'm a UFO guy. I
Right.
love all the James
Right.
Fox stuff, and
I've
What's
got this
that?
thing. Tell me where to point it.
Is that your probe? By any chance? Yes. Okay.
They say it's moving. It's moving weirdly, and it's like moving in a way that normal asteroids don't move. So it's kind of like they're very, very suspicious that it is actually something coming to either attack or approach Earth or whatever. But definitely,
oh, cool. Cheers, many. Many just said Richard D. Hall is well into UFOs and from your part of the world, John. Cool. I'll check that out. Thank you. Right, but I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time is, we've discussed this, I think, before on the channel, is Roswell, the Cal MacLachlan 1994 television film. That's what got me into UFOs. That and Fire in the Sky, the other Lieberman film. That's not Jeff Lieberman. It's I think it's Robert Lieberman who directed Fire in the Sky.
The more liberal Lieberman.
Yeah, Lieberman, but it's a great UFO film, Fire in the Sky. It's the Travis Walton story, and that kind of got me into all that. Those two films,
okay.
Roswell and Fire in the Sky. But ever since then, I've read the UFO files and books and Project Blue Book. I read all the John D. Mack stuff. I read Jack's Valley. You know, I got really into all that stuff. And I mean, there's one thing being a horror movie fan. It's Whitley Strieber, the first book. I read all three of the Communion books. But the first Communion book, there's a bit where he's been abducted. At least he tells us he's been abducted. And he leaves New York because he's so terrified. And he thinks he's going to be abducted at any point. And he goes, I think it was Mexico or Taos or somewhere. Anyway, it was miles away from where he was. And he buys this ranch, or he's renting a ranch, I think it was, to get away from where he thinks he's going to be abducted. And he walks outside and looks up at the sky and realizes no matter where I am, I'm going to be abducted. And man, it's one of the scariest things I've ever read of any horror story, any book. Wow. I could feel the terror in the words that Whitley Strieber wrote in that book. And I mean, he was already a writer. So believe it or not, he wrote Wolfen, the movie that Albert Finney's in. So he was already a famous, inventor of stories. So maybe he was just making this up, Whitley Strieber. Who knows? But that scared the crap out of me, that book, Communion. They made a film of it. Philippe Mora directed Christopher Walken playing the Whitley Strieber character in this totally outlandish movie based on it, which is another great UFO abduction story movie, but very outlandish.
Walken's great, isn't he? He can play any characters at all. Yeah.
Oh, he nails Whitley Strieber. He plays it totally straight. It's a really good movie, Communion. I think it's Philip Morris' best film. It's better than these Howling sequels anyway.
We watched a film there, speaking of UFO kind of stories, we watched Area Q.
I've never seen it, I don't think.
It was by a Brazilian director.
Oh, cool. What's it called, Karen?
Area Q.
Area Q.
Yeah, area, like it's the area, the area like Area 51.
Yeah,
Q,
right.
All right. Yeah. It's in some in Portuguese, but mostly in English.
Oh, cool.
But it's really it's low budget, but it's really well done.
Minty says they've seen it. Yeah.
Hi, Dark Skies, Minty as well. I love Dark Skies. It was the one set in the 60s. It was kind of cashing in on the X-Files, right? But in the 60s. But it was great. Dark Skies was great, and yes, Communion's cool, man. The sodomy scene with Christopher Walken. So there's a scene with Christopher Walken naked lying on a table, and there's all these little fat blue aliens around him, and they sodomize him.
Jesus.
But it's all in Whitley Strieber's books. But
they were probing him.
Yep, they were probing him. Yes, sorry. But I mean,
did you get a look at that thing, Glenn? No?
I just had a quick look at it. Yeah, apparently the closest it will get to Earth is when it's the other side of the sun. So
that's what they were saying. Right. Yeah.
So luckily enough, nobody will be able to look at it then.
I won't be pointing that at it.
But they were saying it would like because it's going the other side of the sun. Are they using that idea to spy on Earth and then maybe zero in? I don't know. Maybe it's just all speculation. But your man R.B. Loeb, the scientist, has said that it could be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of describes it as being a very controversial opinion, which I would tend to agree with.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, obviously, I've literally had about a dozen lines of primer on this. But
I thought you were going to say Coke there for a second.
Well, I think he might have.
Exactly.
No comment.
Well, we all hope that obviously they don't attack us anyway. So if you're right, that's a good thing.
At the end of the day, we've got some extraordinarily powerful telescopes that could be pointed at it.
Totally.
That stuff that would make this little puppy seem very insignificant.
But you would like to think if it was a risk that they would send something to stop it, like
Of what you're going to send. That's the question.
RoboCop. Send Shep Ramsey.
Send a few nuclear missiles towards it, kind of thing.
If it's far enough away,
Will Smith.
if it's far enough away, you can send up a satellite. Well, not a satellite, something like a satellite, with a couple of tons of mass, and you just basically gently guide it away.
Can we talk about
catapult
Donald Trump as a possible solution? Send him up and.
Trumpty Dumpty.
He's got plenty of mass going.
Do you think a potential asteroid has the sentience to go, fuck this, I'm out of here?
Now that you mentioned it, yes.
Well, get close and see. Fuck this planet's doomed.
It's like even rock and ice is repelled.
I knew there's a reason why I let the microwave on.
Yeah.
Where's Musk gone? He was all over the news a few weeks ago, and now he's nowhere to be seen. I think Musk is up to something.
I think they're keeping him. I'm thinking they're keeping him tied down somewhere in a little cupboard. Just so all the Tesla execs going, shut up.
He's up there flying it.
Actually thinking about it, Lexi was saying this a few days ago. Who we haven't heard of mostly lately.
Yeah.
Richard Branson.
Yeah.
He went up in another balloon and never came back again.
One of my favorite stories ever.
He must have a permanent residence on Epstein Island or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
There's an amazing story about Richard Branson when he was doing the balloon thing. I love this. It's a bit like Touching the Void, the story about the two climbers. So there's two guys in Branson's balloon, him and the technician, and everything's going wrong, right? The balloon comes close enough to Earth. The technician jumps out and it just fucking flies off, and Branson's still in it. And that's God's honest truth. That's a true story. The technician just bailed on Branson. Just jumped out in the balloon.
Wise man.
I just loved that story when I was I made us laugh. I do like Branson though. I thought he was interesting. He was kind of like flipping, trying to be the next Batman when I was a kid. he really
was a proto-Elon with a lot less of the disdainability.
He was.
He's a guy that founded Virgin, isn't he, Branson?
Yeah.
I saw his father was rich. I think he gave him $1 million and gave him the record store, and he started Virgin Records, and then Tubular Bells and all that kicked off. I'm a massive Tangerine Dream fan, and he also released Tangerine Dream stuff in the UK. So, but pretty progressive music-wise, Virgin.
Yeah.
But he scored. I think it was Nevermind the Bollocks. Was like the big score. I think the Sex Pistols. I think that was him, right?
I love Virgin, yeah.
Right.
Because the last song they go like goodbye A&M, hello EMI or something. No,
EMI. I remember that tune.
I didn't want to take the pressure.
I've got to stop singing on these streams, man. It's like every one I'm singing a tune now.
Speaking of the Sex Pistols, on a slightly unrelated note, we may be going to see.
Harry, we've been everywhere else tonight. We may as well go.
We may be going to see John Lydon.
Oh, no way! And so he's touring with Pill, right, at the minute?
No, he's doing a book tour.
Oh, cool.
He did it in England last year. He's going to do it in Ireland this year.
I'm
So
a
he's doing Bal Buffet. So
I'm a big Pill fan. Like, I think Pill are a great
Nice one.
band. I love well, obviously Richard Stanley, and This Is What You Want, This Is What You Get. This is what that really got me into Pill, that movie. Hardware.
yes,
That was another one I got a comment from.
but you see, yes, yeah. There's a Josh Hadley. Yes, again, name drop. So,
Absolute legend, Glenn. Absolute legend. I'm honored to be sharing the same airwaves.
Weird some of the stuff that sort of resulted from doing YouTube. But, yeah.
Well, I mean, I remember, like I say, I brought up Henry Bromley Davenport before, and
Harry.
Sorry, Harry. Yeah, sorry, I was getting the Harry Allen Towers thing mixed up. I think with the. But I remember you seen it was, oh yeah, check out Life Among the Cannibals, and I bought the VHS and watched it, and it was great.
It's the only way you can get it.
I bought the VHS.
It's crazy. This really kind of fun film. You can only buy it on VHS.
And it's got Juliette Landau's great performance. Yeah. It's very well directed film as well.
The psycho girlfriend.
She's really good in it.
She is absolutely freaking insane. It's like. But I love the little the singer in the restaurant.
It's beautiful.
It just disappears. It's just a gunshot in the background. Next time you see her, she's just got like a bit of a bandage on her.
It's just a beautifully put together film. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite is Mockingbird Don't Sing.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that film. I love the way that he kind of filmed the 60s in it. It's to take you back in time. Nails it. I love that film so much.
That's actually that and Life Among the Cannibals are his personal favorites.
And for anyone that doesn't know who's listening, this is Extra.
Yes,
Extra director.
Yeah.
Yes,
yep, Extra
I
director.
was going to say that. Yeah,
and he forsook that. He tried to get away from that for years and years and years. He says he kept getting badgered by it about it so often that he just kind of went, "No, fuck it. I guess I'll embrace
have you
it."
seen it here?
Haven't seen it, no.
Oh,
Extra.
You're in for it.
Extra's great.
Oh, it's
Right.
fantastic. And it actually ties in with the James Bond because the blonde girl from Living Daylights is in Extra.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Olivia Dubbo.
That's her. Yep.
Nice one.
It's
And
kind of funny because when he does the interviews and stuff like that, because there's some really good features on the Blu-ray, and he talks about that moment. He goes, he's so apologetic about what he put her through with all the makeup.
There's a great scene near well, I won't say near the beginning. It's actually 20 minutes in or so. It's in the kitchen, so that's all I'll say.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, that's another one of those films that my sister kind of described this film. This is years and years, or a decade or something or more before I actually got to watch it. And she's like, and this woman gives birth to a full-grown man. And the things that happened in my head.
Well, maybe anyone seen Extra 2? That's the John Michael Vincent.
Jan Michael Vincent, yeah.
John Michael Vincent, yeah, that was.
It
was okay. I enjoyed Extra 2. It was okay. And that's still Davenport, right? It is.
Yes.
Sequel, yeah.
Yeah, because he owns the name.
Right.
He doesn't own the first film anymore, from what I understand. But he owns the name Extra.
All right.
So he got to make sequels.
well, that explains a lot about the sequels.
Well, the funny thing was, because I talked to him back and forth over emails and stuff about Extra. He says, but bear in mind, we talked about all the other stuff that he'd done as well. And he goes, you might have persuaded me to do an Extra 4.
Oh.
It never happened, but he was that close because there was promotions for it and all this kind of stuff going on. So he was so close to actually doing it. He said he kind of, I don't know if he was crediting or blaming me, but
I have to say another disclaimer: Extra 2 and Extra 3, are not related to Extra 1.
No, not at
Not
all.
really, no.
That's what I meant when I said that explains the sequels.
And that's the thing,
Wow.
because
He
he owned the
just
name,
owned
he
the
didn't
name.
own the story.
Mm.
Yeah, because he didn't own the story, he couldn't make it a follow-on.
Yeah.
So he basically just went extra to, we'll have aliens in it.
Sometimes they do sequels of movies and they just mention a character or two from the first one, and that qualifies it as a sequel, doesn't it?
Yeah, all too
Yeah.
often.
One sequel I would have loved. I mean, I'm a massive Predator fan, and I would have loved to, because I think Predator 2 is a great sequel.
You would love to find out what became of Dutch, wouldn't
I
you?
would have. Even if it was one line, you know, and they mentioned like one thing about some guy in the jungle, right, and that's it.
Yeah.
But
Actually, what happened?
I'd love to know what happened to Dutch.
No, I know what happened. Right? He was arrested in Bakersfield. Well, on some TV show.
Better leave enough room for my fist, because I'm gonna ram it down your throat and rip out your goddamn spine.
And Jesse Ventura was a sexual tyrannosaurus.
That's him. That's correct. Mm-hmm. Well, it kind of links because Maria Conchita Alonso's in Predators 2, so.
Yo, man, I love her. I think she's totally underrated actress. She was in Colors. She was in Colors. She's in Walter Hill's Extreme Prejudice. She's a fantastic actress. Maria Conchita Alonso. I admire her a lot. I do. I think she's very underrated. A bit like Mockingbird Don't Sing. I just want to bring that one up again for anyone that's listening. Check it out. Davenport's a really good director, and Mockingbird Don't Sing is a fantastic movie. It really is.
It's a film, not a TV series. So it's about the new Running Man TV series.
Yeah, I remember we watched the trailer in that other show.
Yeah, for the
First thing we did.
I think the last thing I know that Harry did was working on a documentary about piano restoration.
Whoa.
What?
Piano restoration.
Okay.
So is he a musician too, Glenn? Did he do the scores for the films, or is he a musician too, Glenn? Did he do the scores for the films as well?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because he sort of described on one of the extras that it was him sort of doing plinky plonky kind of with the synthesizer, and he was never entirely happy with it. But yeah.
Oh, it's a great score. Extra One's a great score, I think.
Yeah, it's great. It's a really kind of fun film.
It kind of sets the movie apart from anything else.
I always kind of describe that story as being basically the kid's kind of view of this sort of relationship between his mother and his father.
Oh yeah, well, a lot of the film's shot like Invaders from Mars, as if it's from the kid's point of view. I thought that too. I mean, the farmhouse is huge. The lenses are low. Everything looks big.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of looked at it, and it's like when I watched it, it was like a lot of the stuff that goes on is very childish. The craziness of what's going on, the toys attacking, and all those kind of things.
So good that.
Yeah, it's like a child's fantasy.
Oh, totally. I mean,
I
got that. I did get that too, and pardon me, I've always thought that. Like I said, similar to Invaders from Mars. I think that's how he was shooting it. It's always from a kid's point of view. If everything's really low and stuff. I mean, I might be wrong, but I always thought that about it.
I mean, he'd kind of like said to me, "Oh, I think you were too kind to me." with the review, because I give the film quite a bit of credit in terms of what it does and how it does it.
You told me on it.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting film. Regardless, I mean, I don't necessarily always ascribe deliberate purpose to a film, but sometimes there's things that go on that just seem to sort of click into place and make it at least seem coherently like that. I mean, you can probably say the same about a lot of George Romero's stuff, to be quite honest with you.
Well, if you want to get into it, I better grab another beer.
Well, I'm going to say on that note, we'll end the stream because it's
Okay,
running-
it is getting
running-
late.
Yeah, so
We're not going
thanks
to go
for
for the
anyone-
16-hour
everyone-
stream.
I'm more than I'm more than willing to keep going and get into Romero.
Well, so am I, but just thinking of other people.
No, it's fair enough.
So with that, thanks for everybody for joining, and say hello to everyone in the real world for us, Minty.
And thanks for joining us, everyone. It's been great.
Thank you.